Operation C.M.G. going live. Welcome back to another episode of Operation C.M.G. We're a podcast that covers comics, movies, and games. I'm one of your hosts, Dustin.
And I'm Jacob.
And I'm Leslie.
Juice behind the camera.
What's up?
And as you can tell, for our viewer audience, we have a special guest. One of my best friends, real estate agent / DJ, Chase Blanchard, Mr. Bowtie.
That's me, bro. Appreciate you having me.
Not a problem. So we got some great topics I'm so excited to talk about. We got the Outerworlds and Modern Warfare later on. First thing we're going to dive into, the Witcher trailer. Everybody seen it?
Yes.
You even played the games? You played the games?
Nope, just a little bit of tape.
You played just 3?
Just 3, yeah.
You have any experience with this franchise whatsoever?
No, it's funny that you asked because, we talked about it yesterday. I've never actually watched or read any of the Witcher trailer. However, I never watched it, read anything about it. But there's certain shows like Breaking Bad. I've never seen it, but I know what it's about because I hear a lot of talk about it, right? And I was telling you, I've never heard of Witcher, but I just know from my experience, he's like the John Wick of slaying random ass dudes and demons and shit. When you ask him, that's that guy, and you're like, yeah, it is. It is.
Damn good analogy.
Yeah,
he's
he's like the John Wick of slaying demons and stuff. So that's my outside perspective.
So I am I'm there's 5 books in total. I'm through 3 of them. I've played all the games, especially the third one multiple times. And I am so fucking excited for this show. Mm-hmm. They finally said it's coming out the 20th in December, and I am going to binge it the day it comes out and watch all episodes. Superman, Henry Cavill, is starring in it as Geralt of Rivia.
I'm really excited to see him do this because from the trailer, this looks like this is going to be a very I was going to say movie. It seems like it's going to be an action-y show, or at least there'll be parts in it, and it seems like he's a good enough actor. He's sort of built a little bit, he's played Superman, so he knows how to be heroic, I guess, or be that kind of saving grace, and it's just
stoic.
Yeah. And I feel like, this is, he just went from one superhero to, I won't say superhero, he went from one hero to another, and it's just,
Have you guys ever seen him out of, any other thing but, modern day stuff? Or, comic book stuff?
The only thing that I've seen him, other than that was, what is it, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Okay. Were you?
Yeah. I've seen Mission Impossible Fallout. I seen him in, the hell is that spy movie he was in? That CIA movie
shit.
with,
yeah.
oh my god. What the hell's his name?
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I can't
He played a CIA operative, and then he was in a Netflix, modern day military movie. He's been good at every role.
He's also been good in a Greek mythology movie called The Immortals.
Really?
Yes. And whenever he swung that sword like that, I was like, this man knows what he's doing. 'Cause back in that movie, he plays like a demigod. And he throws spears and shit like that, it's using medieval type weapons. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, he is gonna be so good at this, because I just picture him in my mind as the young Henry Cavill playing that. I'm like, dude, it's gonna look really good. He can play this part.
See, there's one moment in the trailer where looks like they're in a dining hall or something, mm-hmm. and he's fighting. This is a weird thing to just notice, but it's he does this move where he's does a turnaround mm-hmm. and then slashes it, yeah. And it's just the way it all looked. It looks like he was very fluid with it.
The combat looks really good, mm-hmm. and I'm not trying to say anything wrong like this, but it looks really good for a Netflix show because you had Iron Fist, the choreograph. You know what I mean?
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? So I'm happy that I seen the combat in the trailer was really good.
Netflix has been doing that.
Well, it's gotten way better since then, but it was just a thought in my mind of if it's a combat show that is specific to Netflix, I always have Iron Fist in the back of my head, and I'm like, okay, I know it's been years, but it's got to be way better, right? And then you look at it, and you're like, okay, yeah, it is way better. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see Henry Cavill play that part.
I'm super excited because from the first and second trailer, mm-hmm. I've read if you've played the games but you've never read the books, this is a game show. there are certain things like in the game he has 2 swords on his back at all time. He has a steel sword and a silver sword. Steel is for humans, silver's for monsters, right? In the books, he always carries the steel sword with him, and the silver sword is always like wrapped up and it's kept very like pristine and away from things because it's he gets it out when like shit's getting
in the last
serious.
Wish book he has it in Roach's satchel the whole time. Like
It's
all the
in there.
time.
It's like small things like that, and I can tell. I'm really curious to see like I saw an article that said that Netflix had planned that they already have 7 seasons planned. So I'm very curious to see how far the first season's gonna go because in the trailers it's like from what I can tell what they've shown, it's like the first 2 books which are like they're like short story books and they're like intro books because those 2 books actually the reading order you read the first 2 short ones before you read the main 3.
That's the one that I'm currently on that you got is The Last Wish. The first one that goes
so
in
and that's
the
like how
order.
he meets Siri, who's the little blonde girl. That he
Siri.
Yeah.
Like iPhone? No.
Yeah. Her actual name is Cirilla.
She's going off
She's
right
like,
now.
what you need?
Right.
So like, I'm really curious to see how far that's gonna go in there.
I was pretty happy to see her in that final trailer too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the other 2 trailers you don't see her. Do
She's
you?
in it for like a little bit.
Like a split second or
Yeah,
something
her.
like that.
You don't. So the main characters and the whole like genre is Geralt.
Yeah.
Siri, who's like it's like his adopted
Yeah,
daughter kind
yeah.
of. Triss and Yennefer, Triss and Yennefer, which are his 2 love interests, and we don't see Triss
That much.
at all.
I thought you saw her in the 3rd trailer.
Hold up.
Yennefer,
She was doing.
you see Yennefer.
He has 2 love interests.
Yeah.
Dude, he has more. Okay.
Like, no, I mean, I know we were talking about this and you said, like, he's, like, big player out in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
But, like...
Oh, yeah, dude.
No, yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
Geralt slings dick.
Yeah.
Like, slings it, son. I'm talking, like, he's got 2 people he's in love with, bro, but that dude be banging everybody.
So he's a John Wick in the sheets and in the streets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
Right.
I mean, I said this to you a long time ago when they first announced this, that, like, I think they planned to do this series a long time ago, and they waited until Game of Thrones got done.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And-
a smart ass move.
Yeah, smart.
And then now this is coming out. Because I think this is... So if you're somebody that's like, I don't even know what the hell the Witcher game or the books is, but you like, hey, Game of Thrones, I love that show.
This guy.
I love titties.
Yep.
I love monsters.
I love fighting
I love
shit.
fighting. And then this is what you want.
Yeah, I mean, if I can add to that, I mean, like, I just watched the trailer, like, literally 5 minutes before this podcast started. And, like I said, I've never heard, like, fully understood what The Witcher is. I've heard, like I said, I know what Breaking Bad is. I know, like, what the story's about and stuff like that. And Game of Thrones. Never watched Game of Thrones, but I know generally what it's about and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, just watching that trailer, like, it really hypes up a guy like me, like you said, that kind of likes that action-packed stuff because from what I took from it, from a very third person, don't know nothing about it, that dude looks like a fucking god amongst men. Like, it portrays that, like, it's almost like that 300 type of fit. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
he's like a god amongst men.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, like, he's obviously the most powerful thing going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's very clear between not only, obviously, the actor himself,
Yep.
you know, who looks like, Thor's even sexier brother or something.
Yeah.
But, like, it really seems like he's just, like, it looks like a really good show. to watch.
That's a really good... Because, like, a Witcher is, like, they take in children and they do, like, they mutate them and send them through trial. And it's like 80% of kids die during this. And so, like, the
wow.
people who make it are, like, they are top tier. Like, they're not even considered humans anymore.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah, they call you,
that's...
like if you're walking through the streets on Witcher 3, they're monster and
yeah.
like get out of here, like they
Because
they
they're
scream
weird. Because
holler
they're
at you.
so. Because I mean, he's not necessarily have superpowers, but like he's like Captain America. He's an enhanced human. Like,
Yeah,
he's
that's what-
bigger,
yeah,
faster,
yeah.
stronger. All his senses are completely heightened.
A god almost.
Yeah.
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 So
And
and that's
he's just seen as a monster. So like if you go, what city is that? Novigrad. In 3,
Mhm.
where you walk through Novigrad and like everybody you pass is just like ugh. They walk away. I'm like, bitch, I will cut you down like right now. I'm
Right,
fuck.
right.
Okay, so since there's a lot of history with this, you say there's 3 games, 5 books. Do you feel like they can't mess this up?
Like, there's a lot of source material to...
There's a lot of source material. This is Netflix, so it's kind of like, they have the money to, like, go the extra mile. Like, you see the big flaming catapult, and it's just like... it's like, can they really, like, with everything they have with, like, who they are, the time, like, again, it's Netflix, the one streaming service with the most subscribers. Like, do you think that they can, like, mess this up?
Go ahead.
I would say I could argue both points, because think about comics, and we've had 80 years of comic book material, and they make live action stuff, and sometimes it's really shitty. So I think it's like the series as a whole is so, like, for people like me that love it so much, it's always been good. So I think as long as you stick to it, you can't fuck it up.
You don't try to make it better. And you don't try to cut corners for, like... That was going to be my answer, is as long as they don't try to cut corners, and as long as they pay attention to what's there, because like you said, there's multiple source material out there. All you have to do is just look at it, read it, understand it, make the damn thing.
In which I can tell from looking at the 2 trailers is like they have done that. Like they are going they are sticking to it.
So what you're saying is, like, with everything you see, that there's no
it's
possible
super
way
promising.
Okay.
Now, a question for you guys. Since it's already set up for 7 seasons, you said, do you think the fact that they're going to supersede material, are you worried about it dragging on too long? Being like, we have our source, we know what to cover, now we're going beyond that. How good are our actual writers?
Because now they don't have to rewrite source material. All they have to write a whole new thing.
You said it looks like they're going into the 3rd book with just the 1st season. They have 6 more seasons, and
technically they have 2 more books after that, 3 games to go through all that stuff.
Well, here's the thing, right? So, what I think, I guess my answer is no, because, like, the job of a Witcher is you are hired by peasants, kings, whoever will pay you money to kill monsters, whether it be demons, vampires, werewolves, trolls,
and that
whatever, right?
Is big.
So, like, in the books, there are, like, the first 2 is what I was saying. So the first 3 were written like actual, like, story books. Then they went back and rewrote 2 short stories to give you a bunch of explanation. 60% of both those books are literally just short stories about Geralt taking on a contract.
That's what they are as books. They're collections of short stories.
He doesn't just go, like, take the money, okay, I'm gonna go kill this thing. He runs over to the house and he slays it. It's like he learns about the monster he's doing. He takes, like, he brews special potions that would kill normal human beings. Like, for vampires, for instance, he drinks something called black blood that makes his blood poisonous. Like in the trailer, when his eyes go pitch black and he gets really pale. So when they bite him, they get infected and it burns them. So, like, he prepares for it. He does sometimes if it's like if it's a witch or something, he does, like, different types of rituals stuff. So, like, they can do a whole episode of him, like, taking a random contract and
they don't even have to make up monsters. That Witcher 3 bestiary is fucking huge. Like you don't need to make up monsters. You have that much source material to go through just of monsters. So, and sometimes, like the point you were making about the different contracts and stuff, sometimes he gets to a point where it's not that he sympathizes with the monster, but, like, in the first book, the little snippet part of the source where he meets the guy at, like, this magical, like, hall thing, and it's just him, and he's seen as, like, a monster with, like, hair all over him and stuff like that, and they're actually having conversations across the table. He's like, oh, were you just sitting here to kill me? He's like, yes. I said I was. And something about him not being a threat or whatever, that he was going to turn down the money or this and that. Well, as he was walking away, he was like, so I'm not good enough for you to kill. And so he went and attacked him, and it turned into a big fight. Like, he will have conversations with things, like, I guess, that can talk. Yeah. I guess is a good reason.
So he's not just, like, a one-dimensional,
his IQ
and there are
is
times,
too.
like, there's a really, so, like, when The Witcher 3 first came out, there was a really cool cinematic trailer. That were some people, they had this girl, and they were hanging her for like you don't know why, and he's just riding by, and he like on the horse he drops the head of this monster he killed, and then the people like toss him a bag of coin, and then he's riding, and then he stops because they start to hang her. He gets off the horse and he just starts fucking slaughtering those dudes. And the last guy's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm killing monsters."
Yeah.
And he's like, he's just
It's-
just killing those soldiers because I mean,
It's weird because
So
like
you-
Witchers have a like a code, I guess. Would you would say like take the money, highest bidder, go kill the monster.
that
basically.
and they're
But
not
he-
supposed to have feelings either.
Exactly. He has like his own code that he goes by, which is like, I will fuck up a human being if they're terrible enough.
Okay, so I guess to wrap all this back to the main point, you believe that since he's that much of a complex character to where it's like you can spend some episodes on, developing, like this episode we're going to develop the plot, we're going to push the plot along, and on some episodes we could be like, all right, we're going to develop the character more, we're
Yeah,
going to show you
absolutely.
different sides of him.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay.
yeah, he's very like
Well, to kind of, I mean, this is like a really third party, right? Like y'all are like speaking Spanish right now to me, but like to add like to what he says, talking about like the 7 seasons and stuff. I mean, I don't know how many like Netflix series y'all may watch original and stuff like that, but Netflix is actually really tricky when it comes to that because although it may be 7 seasons, I've watched some shows where the first 2 seasons are a total of like 8 episodes.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you know, like, and then
That's a
like
good-
maybe the
that's a fair
third
point.
season might be 15 episodes long.
Mhm.
You know, Netflix has a tendency to do that, where like their first season is like kind of like a pilot season. There's like technically the first season is only like 4 episodes. You know, and then the second season
Yeah.
maybe like 8, and then like I said, by the third it's like 15 episodes, and then you have a consistency of like, okay, we're starting to get viewers. It's like, all right, we're going to constantly put out
yeah.
12.
The budget goes
Yeah,
up.
the
and-
budget-
We know
yeah.
we're actually going to make our money
Right,
back
right.
out of this.
So I mean, they're doing something good, obviously, by saying, "Hey, we're willing to commit
Yeah.
to 7 seasons." You know, but just because they're doing that, like what he asked about, you know, it Netflix is kind of tricky about it sometimes. That doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be a total of like, an average of 10 episodes per season.
Yeah.
So you got 70 episodes worth of content. You might only have
We don't
50.
even have an episode count. We just have the.
No.
Season count is what I'm
Season
saying.
count,
Yeah.
So what's
Do we-
what up?
Do we know if these are going to be 30-minute episodes or
That's a
hour?
fair.
Judging by
They
this,
normally
I'm
do,
going
like,
to say this
48.
is going to be a 40.
40,
44?
50 minute.
44.
Yeah.
I would say this is definitely like a Stranger Things. Like probably be
Some 40, some 50.
50, 51 minute, 10 episode thing.
But
I
they
can
haven't
see that
announced
for-
it.
No,
yet.
no.
Okay.
So
I can
But
see
you
that
said
for
That's
Witches.
most
is
typical for them. I just don't
So-
know if we got.
are you interested in watching?
Yes. So. Yes.
Good, no, good.
Watching the video, the trailer,
Mhm.
the latest one that came out. Even if you don't know anything about them, it does give you the character development story
Mhm.
that will keep me intrigued. I don't know if I'll be able to watch if it's 7 seasons of it. There's a lot of series that 3 seasons are great. After that, it's a lot of redundancy.
Mhm.
I'm a little curious as to whether or not this is going to be one of those types of shows.
Mhm.
That's why I asked earlier.
Right.
See,
There's somebody that watched Game of Thrones all the way through, just like me and Jacob.
Yeah.
right.
So,
and
I mean-
I'm willing to. There's enough there for me to try it out.
Okay.
Like even without the whole Game of Thrones thing aside, it's just like there's enough action, enough everything to make me
Romance.
So
and-
there's enough
Yeah.
hook in there. There's enough.
There's
hook in-
enough
yeah.
hooks to make me be like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll try it out. Am I going to make it to like the end of the season? I don't know.
No.
Yeah,
But-
there's no shortage of action in that trailer. I mean, I'm totally like the type of like. I mean, we'll talk about it later. I'm totally the bro type of like just action. I just love action. So I mean, there's no shortage of that in the trailer for sure.
Mhm.
So you're gonna give it a shot when it comes out?
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna binge this shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You've
go.
already said.
Is there
I'm
any
not-
other? Is there any other way to do a show?
Oh, no,
really?
I'm
besides
talking-
to binge it.
I'm talking like I'm gonna make some like chicken buffalo dip, and then it's gonna be like a 10-hour like just don't talk to me, lights off.
Yeah.
I plan on finishing the first book before I watch it though, because I'm again. Last Wish is the first book, the collection of short stories, and that motherfucker is 10 hours long, and I'm at work, so I got like 5. I'm halfway through it right
Yeah.
now.
I,
So,
I also do feel a little bit of a pressure to finish the rest of them before I watch the show.
It's almost like a pressure thing because like you feel like it's gonna be in the books, it takes place
What-
like in that area, and you're like, oh man.
What I'm worried about is like I don't want to miss anything.
That's my point. Is like I don't know if I can finish all of them because you're way ahead of like where I'm at, but like I at least want to finish the short story one just to get that because Last Wish they talk about Siri a little bit too, right?
In Last Wish, that's why I have to figure out how.
That's the reason why I want to finish that part.
Well, you got until December the 20th
Exactly.
to do so.
Yep.
Alrighty, next on the agenda. Are you excited? Juice. Are you excited?
Yes.
Big excite. Overwatch 2.
I don't know.
You don't really.
I'm the same way.
And the reason why is Overwatch is good. We've been promised Overwatch 2 for like a year now, and it's like, is it a story mode? Is it like, we don't know. We just know that they're changing it.
So I have a question. Do you think, and let's not try to get too political here, but do you think that they pushed this out because of the Hong Kong stuff?
No.
I wanna say-
and the reason
yeah.
why is it's been out for so long. It's been in the making for so long, and BlizzCon was coming up and everything. It was already going to be there. I think if they would have made that announcement, they probably would have waited a little bit longer because they're still trying to get over that announcement. If you get on Overwatch today, you'll still see the whole free Hong Kong in the world chat. Like, it's still a really big issue in the fan base. I think that if they didn't want it to affect their budget or their numbers or anything, they'd still wait another month or so. But BlizzCon and everything was coming up. I think they released it when they planned on it anyway.
The reason why I think no is because yes, like I already had a feeling it was going to be at BlizzCon, but also Diablo 4 was going to premiere there too, and to have two hit bangers back to back to be like, you know what, and the World of Warcraft expansion all in one con, like they always go for BlizzCon is always one that they go for like a major like, here's our con. And this is why we're better and why you should come to us. Because, like, they push their BlizzCon's, like, promotion out the ass. And they try to make it so big.
Does Blizzard not attend, like, E3 and everything like that?
That's a
As
good
far as
question.
I know, not.
I haven't seen them, though.
Since they have their own con?
They have their own con. I really don't know if they do go to E3 or if they
I
do.
would say
It's
I don't
not
know.
large. It's kind of
Maybe
a
when they announce
show their
Overwatch
face
1,
kind of thing.
yeah.
But
maybe. When they Overwatch,
As far as
like
I know,
Overwatch 1,
they
maybe,
don't.
but as far as I know, I've never seen Blizzard at an E3 or anything like that. That's just my...
You ever played
from what
Overwatch?
I know.
No.
Ever? You?
No, and I mean, I feel like I do know what you're talking about. So kind of like explain what Overwatch
It's
is.
like, okay, so you played
for
Rainbow
the
Six
for the
Siege.
people that haven't.
So
yeah.
you played Siege,
Yeah.
where it's like a 5v5
Yeah.
tactical. Imagine that, but it's like way more cartoony.
And you have like heroes that like have
Yeah.
special
Yeah, you pick a hero and they have special abilities or
Different guns, different
Yeah.
weapons. Or...
So would you say it's sort of relatable to like Borderlands or no?
no, because it's a
if you've ever played,
the structure of the game is a competitive shooter.
Okay.
You
back
are
to
playing
back.
against other
But
people.
I think to like your point is like, you know, the how I guess the style
Yeah.
of Borderlands,
Right.
like, you know, the these characters do this character does
Right,
that.
right.
It has that kind of likeness,
Right.
but you know.
have you
Right.
ever played Call of Duty 3 where they started adding like the ultimates and everything like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
They got that idea off of the Overwatch style. Every character has an ultimate and a special ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar to Apex, but much shorter.
That's what I was
cooldowns
thinking
and
as
much
well too.
Yep.
quicker
What you're
pace.
talking, yeah.
As far as how the characters are, but everyone has their own unique weapons and abilities.
It's great too because there's tanks, there's assault, there's defense, you know, there's healers, support characters, stuff like that. So whatever role you play in video games, like I know you, and you're almost like him. Y'all motherfuckers want to be at the front of the line. Y'all want to be shooting people, and y'all want to get kills.
So y'all want to be
Y'all wanna be
tanks.
assault.
Yeah, right.
I love Reinhardt as my boy. That's who I play. So I'm there with a shield, and I'm waiting till people walk up, and I'm like, all right, bitch, hammer, think. Like that's my play style.
Okay.
Come to me, and I'll fuck you up.
So, do all we know is just that Overwatch 2 is coming? Like, do we know anything that's
Nope.
going to be different?
They released like an 8-minute cinematic trailer, and that was really it.
So, is it just like, does it look like it's going to be the same heroes? Maybe some
They
of them are going to
didn't.
return?
They didn't
or-
debut any new characters.
So Blizzard has
other
this
than
thing.
Echo,
All
if you
their
wanna count
well,
it.
not all their games, but a vast majority of their games share characters. So we shouldn't expect the old characters to be gone. I really expect Overwatch 2 to be more of a storyline with the characters we currently have, or go back to the Omnic Crisis, which one thing Blizzard's great at is making cinematics that make you want more.
Oh, bro, that Genji part in that one got me.
The Genji and Hanzo?
Yeah, when he did the... dude,
you want to talk about a cinematic, that is one. And then the Reinhardt one, you want to talk about a cinematic that might get you emotional?
Dude, I got emotional on the Reinhardt one. But my favorite one is because I was a Hanzo main for the longest time.
You didn't realize.
Dude, my favorite one was the Hanzo and Genji. Like the brothers back and forth telling the story about the two dragons and how the two dragons represent Hanzo and Genji. And it was that one got me the most. That was my favorite.
Cinematics make you want a story mode. Like
yeah,
they don't have to be full story modes because not all the characters overlap. They do kind of in their lore, but they all have their like individual stories.
But that's what they have like the comic books for.
Yeah,
I think this will have a like a PvE.
It's got to
story to go through with it.
I don't think
if it doesn't, how do you sell an Overwatch 2 when there's already Overwatch?
The people are gonna be mad, and this leads up to the point where like once Overwatch 2 comes out, everybody's speculation of Overwatch, the first one, being like a free to play, like with Battle Pass, all that shit like that, happens.
But what happens to those of us who have put in money for loot boxes?
That's what I was just fixing to say. How do you? This is the first game that has came out with a sequel. Because you think it's like you got this game, Rainbow Six Siege, games where like they've been supported for years, like 5-6 years, and people have put in so much damn money. Like Fortnite, like what's gonna happen when you put in $600 6 years of playing Overwatch, and then it's like, all right, well, I got Overwatch 2, so that's it.
Time to start over.
If Overwatch 2 is a multiplayer game and it does not transfer from Overwatch, I guarantee it, they lose a majority of their players.
So do you think Overwatch 2 will be a strictly story mode?
It should strictly be
like a PvE
story mode, and then with additional maybe multiplayer things where, hey, you can get a group of 5. Because Overwatch has its events. They say an event takes about a year to make, where you have an objective. It's escort the payload when they're introducing a new map, and you're fighting PvE instead of other players. Yep. If it's not strictly all these things they've done over the years and then improved them, and it is a multiplayer or a replacement for the multiplayer, I guarantee it, you're gonna have a lot of people kind of fit that Tim the Tap Man mentality that you have fucked this game up, I'm out, I'm going to go play Fortnite. That's why I got into Fortnite. Yep. I guarantee it, you're going to have a lot more people, probably myself included, being like, it's not worth it. No. You're just going to do the same crap over. There's no
he'll go back and play it, and like literally the first 5 minutes he's in that game, he's like, I know why I fucking stopped.
Yep.
And it's just the game is there's broken parts in the game, and like on that fucking Roadhog hook, how long it took them to finally nerf it and it be okay, and then whenever they finally got it okay after a year trying to fix it, it was just shit. You didn't want to use it. And he was like, okay, now I know why I quit playing this fucking game.
Okay, so since you two seem to be very into this game, like, what is... I mean, I believe it's how you probably already said it, but what's 1 or 2 features that you absolutely have to make this, like...
Co-op PvE story.
Yes.
I will not do it if it's AIs that I'm running with the other characters.
Good question.
So even if your things don't transfer over from Overwatch to Overwatch, as long as you have PvE story mode.
My thing is that you've spent so much hours, and you're level what on Overwatch?
So I have 2 accounts.
Yeah.
My first one, I'm still bronze 4, but I'm at level 54 now.
54.
And then the other account, I'm at like bronze 2, level 89. So I've maxed out 100 level like 7-8 times now.
Yeah, so you're technically like level 7,000 or 700 and something.
So that's your like Smurf account.
I'm level like
which is higher than my main.
Yeah.
Explain that.
I'm like 300 and something. Like level 300 or something.
Yeah.
That it's almost like prestiging. Once you hit 100 levels, it gives you a star under your thing, and you become 100, and then levels start over again. I have 3 stars and I think like 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like level 320 something. I don't care. Like I don't care who's feeling this hurts. If Overwatch 2 finally comes out and it's everything that the community's been asking for, don't fucking cry about you not having so much hours, so much money put in the first game. That's my point. You wanted this as a community. If you didn't want it, you're allowed to complain. If you wanted it, you're not allowed to complain.
Except if they take away everything. So there's people that are, what is it, like diamond level prestiges. I don't know. I don't think they have their actual term for it.
It's like level 3,000 or something.
Nothing transfers over, and they just make it the same game with more maps, which I don't see them doing. I don't see how they can do it.
Then you are allowed to fucking complain.
Then,
but I'm saying, like,
why would you not just make the game you have better?
Yeah.
Why would you sell us something else that's nothing new? And this better be an addition. So, hey, I'm tired of Overwatch. Let me go play Overwatch 2. If they just are planning on sunsetting Overwatch,
do you think that's gonna? So let's say they do. Let's say they take the route of Overwatch. Overwatch is going to be a PvP. Continue to be a PvP based game. Then have Overwatch 2 that's going to be a strictly PvE story mode co-op game. Do you think that's too much on a company to keep up?
The old
not
game.
Not
one
Blizzard.
and two.
Not Blizzard.
Not Blizzard, because
They
Blizzard
keep up
has
on
their
WoW,
own
too.
franchises. Yeah. So like when they get their hands in the Call of Duty games and everything else, like they have entire. Don't think of it as one company that does everything. Imagine it one company that just doesn't even micromanage other subdivisions whose only goal is like, this is what I'm doing.
Multiple companies set up around the world, and it's you're working on this game, you're working on this game, you're working on this game.
And I wouldn't even be upset if they're like, hey, look, Overwatch is going to be just strictly like competitive, free to play, listen to me, competitive and free play, and then we move our arcade mode and our map creation and all that stuff that they recently introduced. We're going to move that over to Overwatch 2. I wouldn't even be upset with that.
As long as they move ranks at that point. I think at that point you move levels and you give them all their
So
skins
basically, I think we can sum this up saying that this is, no matter what they do, the community is going to be like very divided.
They're always divided.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what comes out. Oh, new hero? Why the fuck wasn't it this hero?
Because I mean, all they have said was like, basically what they did was like, here's a little movie. We're making the second game.
Because that's what they do
people
all the
that
time.
are just like, listen, okay, what
It
the
needs
fuck?
to have
if
this.
I don't fucking have, I ain't playing this shit. Kiss my ass.
Well, because that's what Overwatch does. Is it's only cinematics. They don't release cinematic and then afterwards, at the very end, you see like, oh, this is the new hero, and it has this ability. They don't do that. They do developer updates on YouTube, but that's well after it comes out, and it's only a cinematic trailer. Probably has that character in there in a split second.
You know from the cinematic that they're either going to be getting a skin, or there's going to be another character coming out of it.
Yep.
But there is no timeline for it.
Mm-hmm.
So when the McCree cinematic, which I thought was the last one, but I don't know for sure, when that one came out, you knew that, hey, either Ash or
It was Ash, Bob, or Echo.
Echo. Thank you. We're gonna be the next one.
Everybody suspected Echo because they wanted her from the comics so bad.
We've wanted Echo from the
Wanted
comics and
her
everything else.
so long, and they're like, "Hey, here's Ash," and we're like, "You motherfucker!"
But we know Echo's coming. That's the thing. The cinematic.
Because she was in a cinematic.
We know that she's coming. Everyone asked, and Jeff was like,
It's-
"Yeah, but we were gonna release them then, but she's not ready to be released. We're not releasing a shitty character."
It's a matter of you see 2 new characters in a trailer like that, you know one of them's coming, but you know the other one's coming later, so you're not so mad about it. So like when Echo didn't come out, like I was pretty upset, but I was like, just
Give it.
she's
time.
coming. Just I hope. And
So when do you guys think this will be coming out? You think it'll be hitting this gen or next?
2020. I want to say late though.
So
then
next
Late
So next gen.
2020.
Yeah.
Maybe next gen.
So, I mean, you say late 2020, so.
I
The
mean,
PS5
I'm
is
not
coming out
saying
next
like
year.
strictly next gen. I think they may do.
I mean, they may do
do
a cross,
PS4
but like.
and that. I don't think they're gonna go strictly.
That makes sense just to wait to next gen.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, moving on this train, something that is, if you were shocked by this, you should not be shocked by this because you're an idiot. They formally announced Into the Spider-Verse 2.
What, they're going to do a second one? that trash ass movie?
Yeah,
I'm just playing.
Yeah, so have you seen that movie?
Stop.
Into the Spider-Verse, no, I have not.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
man.
man.
I know.
Dude,
Come
it's
on.
on Netflix,
I know,
man.
I know.
Get off this pod.
I know, sorry. I'm sorry. And I really like
We
Spider-Man
picked the
too.
wrong first.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah, I mean, I guess let me give you a little story on it a little bit. So
So that one, that was with Tom Holland, right? Or no, that wasn't with Tom
This
Holland.
was-
He tried the title.
Wait,
He tried the title. He's like, into the.
Wait, yeah, I was like, I didn't want to
This
mess
one,
it up.
okay.
That one you're talking about, that was not with Tom Holland,
nope,
was it?
Nope. This is
That's why I didn't watch it.
Okay.
That's why I didn't watch it. Because I was
Okay.
like, this guy looks like a trash ass Spider-Man. And that's coming from a third.
It was animated.
Oh,
This one's animated.
oh yeah, that's right. But it wasn't Tom. Like, I'm not into that stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why I
Okay.
didn't watch it, because like I like Tom Holland and stuff as a Spider-Man with Avengers and stuff like that. And I'm not into anime stuff like that. And we'll get into that maybe a little bit later when we talk about other games. But yeah, I'm just not into
So
that.
you're missing out because it's regarded as the best Spider-Man movie they've
ever made.
ever made.
Some people grant it like best picture. Like I was in the same boat. You watch it and you're like, man, it's almost too comic-y.
Yeah.
And then
But then you watch
Then
it
you
and it's
watch it,
like,
or you hear
oh
somebody
my
else be
god,
like,
this
look,
is...
if you're questioning it, don't let the flip book kind of thing from the
Right.
things scare you off.
It is so aesthetically
so
pleasing to watch.
It's a beautiful movie.
Oh,
The
man.
story is phenomenal. I mean, I'm talking like grown men out there crying in the theater. Like
Yeah, it's fucking
it is a. Didn't it win fucking like an Academy Award or some shit?
Did
I
it
would
get best
believe
picture?
so.
I
I
think
know
it
that.
Or an
Picture.
Oscar or something like
I know the album is fire. The soundtrack album.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
fire.
Yeah,
The soundtrack album
The
is fire.
soundtrack is fire. So yeah, so
look, I redeemed myself a little bit right there, right?
Yeah,
So,
okay.
hey, I do
It's gonna
apologize.
be hard.
I'm the
It's Tom Holland in this one. That's gonna be
yeah,
hard.
that was pretty
Okay,
bad. That was
okay.
pretty bad.
All right,
But
so
what-
to
so-
bring this back into for the second one.
so exactly. So okay,
I gotta go watch it now.
spoiler alert for anybody if you haven't seen it yet. Fuck you.
He just said he was gonna go watch it.
So yeah, fuck. Go ahead.
Yeah, so fuck me. Yeah.
So it starts off, okay, Peter Parker dies.
Okay.
Miles Morales, you know who that is? The little black Spider-Man. He's low key, he's like about
the
15.
little black Spider-Man.
Damn.
Like-
How would you describe him?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just at this point, he's just a kid. He's not Spider-Man yet. Like that.
Okay,
That ruins the whole explanation of you explaining it.
this little young African American kid
there you go. Better.
gets bit by a radioactive
We're not
spider.
PC on Operations AZ,
Exactly.
it sounds like.
So he gets bit by a radioactive spider,
Okay.
and then Kingpin is opening up this portal to try to get his wife and kid back, and it like rips a hole in the dimension, and then all these different Spider-Men from different worlds come in. There's one that's from the Looney Tune universe who's
Spider-Ham.
a fucking pig.
Right.
There's a girl who
There's the noir Spider-Man.
there's Noir Spider-Man, so he's like black and white detective World War II. Nicolas Cage plays him.
Right.
There's Spider-Man from a different world who's like fat, out of shape, like if I was
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
who hit some tough times.
Yeah,
Right,
so
right.
it's like, and they were all work together. So with the second one coming out, that most definitely they can bring Tom Holland in. It won't
Right.
be live action, but they could do an animated version of him. He could, because it's
And you know
I
what's funny?
would
They could do
fucking
that, and
love
they
that.
really wouldn't even need to address it. Just like,
Nope.
who are you? I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Peter Parker. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So, I know kind of one of the things we talked about maybe on the podcast and stuff is because I do enjoy action, movies and Avengers movies, Iron Man movies, stuff like that. But I've never read from page to page a comic book. I mean, I had it when I was younger. I was the picture guy. Like I looked at the pictures, read a couple things. So like from my side perspective, when I seen that, the anime one that you're describing, it sounds like it's, when you get down to it, when I hear it from you, I'm like, man, that actually does sound like a really good movie. But for me, I'm just like, it's just too much for me. I'm like, I'm a simple guy, and I like Spider-Man saving the day, Mary Jane, all this other stuff. I mean, it's too complex for me, and it throws me off. And you know, some people just don't like change, and that's how I viewed it. I'm like, this is. I didn't even know there was a such thing as multiple Spider-Mans. There's just Spider-Man. There's not Spider-Man, Spider-Woman. You know, it's not the fact I'm opposed to a Spider-Woman or anything like that.
It's just you weren't exposed to it, so you didn't know.
I had no idea that there was multiple other Spider-Mans. Just like right before we started the podcast, you know, we were standing around and I was talking about the Joker. I said, I've seen different variations of the Joker. You know, where sometimes the smile, the paint goes all the way to the ears, and some of it's just like right around the mouth. You know, and so, you know, a typical average just guy who just goes and watches the movies when they come out and never really read a comic book, you know, like that really throws us off. So we don't really know what to think about it. And we're like, that's not normal.
That's not the Joker.
Yeah, that's not the Joker. That's not normal Spider-Man. That's not. What was the very first one? Who was the original Spider-Man?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Like, so, you know, when you've seen you know, something like this movie, you're like, that's not Tobey Maguire. That's not him saving the day of Doc Ock. That's not Mary Jane, the kissing upside down. You know, the Uncle Ben. You know, it's just, you know, it's different to me. So we just shut up. We're just like, you know, fuck it. We're not even gonna watch it. You know.
I actually could see that, especially if, like, you know, like you say, if this is all you know it as, like, especially, like, you know, the all of Spider-Man, you know, is the Tobey Maguire movies. You may see this and just be like, you know, I don't want to watch this. This isn't. You may think of, like, Spider-Man.
He's not the real Spider-Man. He's making gadgets so he can shoot webs.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Spider-Man has webs coming out of his skin. We all know that, right?
Yeah. Remember the original, like the classic scene. Go web, go. Go web. You know, but think about it like this. All right, put yourself in a scenario. Think about when you've seen a movie, right? And you love a movie and you're super excited about it and you can't wait to tell your significant other or like another friend about it. You invite them over and like you're watching that movie and you know like one of your favorite scenes are coming up, and like you're so excited to see their reaction, like, oh, this is my favorite part. You know what I'm talking about, right? Or it's like, and so think about it when you go and watch Spider-Verse, you know, like you've already read the comic, so you're excited to see what's going to happen. Like, you know, like you're kind of excited to see what's going to portray out in the movie. Versus, you know, like I said, me that's never been introduced to anything like that.
Just kind of like, all right, what is this?
What is this?
And then you're like, what the fuck?
There's a Spider Girl. Like there's a.
Since when was there a Spider Woman?
Well,
Are y'all just making up
pig?
Y'all just making up shit now?
Right.
Okay, I could see that.
I've never had somebody explain that to me. I've always been on the other side, just like,
right.
why can't you?
You're a damn idiot.
Why can't you just be fucking open-minded?
Why can't you just read the comic book? It's available to you, and it's
Right.
just like,
Yeah.
okay, well, why can't I don't have to.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think so. I mean, with this being announced, I am super curious because like
What other
I
Spider-Man
think
they're going to bring?
I think they will. I think they are going to. If they were to bring in Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, like bring in
a thing with all three. Oh, I'm not. I would die.
That would
Maybe
be so.
maybe that's why Sony fought so hard because they knew they were doing Spider-Verse too. Maybe like,
So they
whoa,
can
we need him.
they can bring in people who have actually played Spider-Man before, and interact with all the other Spider-Man.
And make it them in that cartoon or comic style. Like, make it look like them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they did that kind of in the first one where they had, like, you know, old man Spider-Man was, like, I guess the Spider-Man from like the Tobey Maguire era.
Yeah.
'Cause he was doing the whole dancing and everything.
Right.
So they could just, you know, just
Put him in there.
Yeah,
Just take Tobey Maguire, stand in front of a camera, animate him, and then have him read the
I don't
lines.
think you need to do that.
They could just use the
Use his
actual
voice.
movie.
Or use his voice.
Yeah.
Just go in there and, like, all right, man, look, get in this booth and say some Tobey Maguire ugly-ass Spider-Man comments.
No,
Go in
actually, I'm not. That's what they did for, who was it? John Mulaney. He was the one who was playing Spider-Ham.
Yep.
They just put him in a booth and they're just like, yeah, read
Go.
all these lines.
Yep.
He
Oh,
has no idea, like,
No.
which
Yeah,
one
yeah.
is which.
Well, I'm saying though, like if you're gonna do somebody who's played Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
live action, then you're gonna have to
Animate their face or
animate
whatever.
their face. So
Oh,
if they
yeah.
take their mask off, then you'd be like, oh, he says I'm Peter Parker, but you know, like that's Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker.
Yeah,
that's Andrew
that's a
Garfield.
fair point. That's
Do
a fair
you
point.
think that they would actually do that? Like, I mean, like,
I mean, they do it in video games
They
too.
could,
and
so
it's-
I think they could get away with not doing it because like the suits are so different. Like if you were to show me Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland
Yeah,
with
you
their
know.
masks on,
yeah, you
you can tell the difference because the suits are different.
mm-hmm.
But I think that would be a disservice to
So you think like I'm saying like you think for them to do that they would have to take the mask off for it to be like I guess
For people-
more of a fan service
For people, and not in a bad way, but for people like Chase. And it's not meant in a bad way, but for people like Chase, if you were to stand them three there, they'd be like, oh, they look familiar. And then the next scene would come and like, just forget about it. And then like, if they were to take their mask off and show him, he's going to be like, that's Silver Guard.
Yeah.
I've seen him. I've seen that one too.
I think
I've seen that one too.
I think it depends. Is it going to be like an Easter egg cameo thing, or are they actually going to be in the movie?
That's a fair point.
Okay,
That's a fair
yeah.
point.
Like
Because
you got-
there's
so-
just all three walking around, and he's like,
yeah.
who
So
fuck is
two,
this Spider-Man?
it's got because Miles Morales is the main character of
Yeah.
the movie, right? So if like he's just I don't know gets transported to another Spider-Man, he's like what the hell? And it's like you see he just goes around, you're like oh okay I know who that was, but that's it. But if he's like going to be a Spider-Man that helps him do whatever he's doing
you
in the
would
movie,
need to know that.
yeah.
Okay.
The kid
Like
from Silver
maybe
Guard,
even
he's
if
dead.
they're both in the same scene, like pointing out their differences.
Yeah. They could all be like, where does your webs come from?
And he's like,
My skin?
my skin?
Yeah.
Where do yours
doesn't
go?
yours?
Yeah. That would be really funny.
Doesn't yours seem like,
Tell you,
no,
we got
I
some-
think somebody messed up with it.
We got some really great ideas in this podcast. If Disney, Marvel, DC,
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
ever want to just DM us, we got you, baby.
Just click that blue button. Just
Just
click that
looking at
follow
Tobey
button.
Maguire, like, maybe that's,
That
maybe
subscribe
that's a
button.
design flaw right there. I don't know what that is. You're just like, wow.
Are there certain aspects to this movie that you guys have to enjoy it, or could they go any route?
Any route, I'm fine with.
I mean, yeah, because I think the first one was so like off the beaten path
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I really trust their creative.
The only thing I say that they would have to do is just I would just want to see them add more Spider-Man.
I wouldn't do
that's
the
why
same
you're intrigued.
ones come
Yeah.
back. I would
You're
say
intrigued to see different.
not the same ones come back. Maybe one or two of them, like Spider-Gwen, like obviously probably should have to come back. But like,
Do different
maybe
ones.
not Noir.
Just do different-
Maybe
just-
not Spider-Ham. Maybe throw extra ones in there because there's multiple out there.
The reason I think it did so great is there another movie that ventures into
The multiverse?
the multiverse near as much as this?
Never.
I was like, I can't think of a single
Nope.
even
Besi-
cartoon or
besides-
anything.
Actually,
There's-
before that, has there ever been a kids movie this good?
No. Well, yeah.
Ooh.
They did it for Batman Mask of the Phantasm. That won an Oscar.
Fair point.
Okay, but it's just I'm saying.
But was that a
like,
kids one? Yes, it was.
It was.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but
I mean, it's an
It was an
animated Batman
show.
movie.
Yeah.
So he's actually bringing up something I was actually just thinking in my mind. I mean, to ask you guys. I mean, so this Spider-Verse has existed for a while, correct? Like in comics and stuff like that.
Oh, there's over 100 multiverse.
There's video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, just like you said, the timing of the Witcher being released and stuff like that. Do you feel like they're doing this purposely for the timing? And the reason I say that because it, like you said, it's anime, it's cartoon and stuff like that. Think about what's going on in the world right now. Fortnite is your most popular game in the world right now. It's cartoon based. You got Borderlands. You've got cartoon style games, and now like they're starting to see it an uptick in that in popularity. So you think that's why they're maybe doing the Spider-Verse now?
Well, like
It's-
why they're pushing
Yeah.
animated versions.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably just the
Because,
niche
like,
that's trending right
I
now.
mean, we're
for,
all.
you know,
I mean, I'm 23 and I've never seen any type of something like this major production. You know, in the
Oh
movie
yeah,
theater.
yeah.
It's
well,
all
I
new
think
to me.
no, I think we are slow, and I would say that it attributes to comic books, period, right? Because
Right.
why comic books are so old ones are so rare is because like back in World War One and World War Two, people thought these comic books are stupid, and they would take kids' comic books and they would recycle them for to use material in the war. That's why comic books are so expensive nowadays, right?
Right.
So with that trend continuing all the way to 2019, I think comic books. When I was a kid, and you're a nerd and you read comic books, you got made fun of.
yeah, you got made a fun.
It's for kids,
for
right?
sure.
And so I think we're just now hitting we're just now coming up on the water, like taking a breath of air of, you know what?
they're not that
They're
bad.
yeah,
These
like
Marvel
good
movies are good.
stories.
Maybe the comic books are alright. Maybe I shouldn't pick on that kid at school.
everybody likes this type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody likes
For sure.
superheroes, so why not we? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so just like your point, like well, people love animated video
Yeah, like
games and
Fortnite.
shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm
so
saying.
let's see if we make an
Try
animated movie.
like an actual one, not
Yeah.
Disney related. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
For sure.
You think
Have
I on
you-
that?
The only thing, can you think of any other movie or show that looks like a comic? because
I think
that was the
Sony
one thing.
invented that.
Like
The specific art style they did.
This art style, because the art style, watching all the
that's so
trailers and
aesthetically
everything,
pleasing.
I'm like, man, this is not for me. And then you watch it, and you're like, this feels like a flip page.
That's 100% a whole intentional thing. Like it's like almost like it almost when you first watch it, it almost throws you off because like when you see people move, you see frames move, and you're just like, what the? It almost kind of like hurts your eyes, and then like once you get adjusted
but it's like
to
a comic book.
It's like
flipping.
it's fluid. It looks natural.
You're watching a comic book move. It's really cool.
I didn't Sony.
But
invent
no,
that
I don't
phrase?
think no one's ever done that.
And that's another thing that sets it apart from anything else.
Yeah.
That and the multiverse were the two things. I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard for me to start watching it because of that flip book style. And then, like you say, you get adjusted to, hey, this is how the movie's gonna be. I'm gonna watch it, and then it's like, okay, this is phenomenal.
Yep. Fantastic.
All right.
Next thing on the agenda, I don't have too much to say about it, but they, for some reason, randomly said Ant-Man 3 is 100% confirmed, along with a couple other Phase 5 movies that we already knew about.
I think that's why, though. Like, they had to let us know, hey, Ant-Man 3 is out. Why? Because everyone already knew Black Panther was going to get another movie. Mm-hmm. We already knew about Blade. We knew about Captain Marvel. We know Strange is getting a movie. Mm-hmm. We already knew about Thor. We already know about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep. So, it's
so Ant-Man was kind of the
only Ant-Man's one of them, too. Yeah, throw it out there.
Yeah. But...
I again, like, you guys can, if you have points to say, you can say. I just don't have much to say, but other than that, like, it was just probably thrown out there because you had that picture that was taken at, was it Comic-Con? Of the lineup of Phase 5?
The Disney Con thing. What is that thing called? I don't remember. I'll think of it in a second.
But it was like all those pictures lined up. It was like a timeline of like...
D20.
Like, D20. What movies are coming out for the new phase. And like they had like, these are the streaming channels that had all these TV shows that we're going to make. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see Ant-Man 3 up there. So it was just a moment of like, we forgot this one.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why, Ant-Man 3 is the headline because... we already knew everything else that they're doing.
Because everything else is a sequel besides Blade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they're all popular movies, so it's like,
well,
no shit.
Right.
Which one of the lineup are you guys most excited for?
Doctor Strange
and
the multiverse of the Madness of the Multiverse.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm most interested in seeing Guardians of the Galaxy because I really do feel like. I felt like that movie was supposed to be, like, introducing everything. I really have, like, some inclination that within that movie they were going to introduce the Silver Surfer. Especially with how you look at how Guardians 2 ended.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Especially if you look at how Guardians 2 ended. I want to see the direction that they are going in now. Especially with, like, we officially know that something's going on with Thor because he's no longer going to be Thor anymore because of Thor 4, which comes out, as far as I know, comes out before Guardians 3. So I want to know what that movie's going to be.
If it's not a setup movie, what is it?
Because it seems like it was 100%. It was 100% supposed to be a setup movie.
I'm with you.
And now, what are you going to do?
I'm interested to see what they do about Blade.
So they kind of put that one on the back burner.
Then they're just like, not so much.
Yeah. Then we can go
I'm
in a different
interested
direction.
I'm interested to see what they do with Blade. That was like, as a kid, that was one of my favorite movies. And now when I watch them, I'm like, movies are fucking like, they're not that bad, but they're not good.
Who's the guy behind Blade again?
Marshala Ali or something like that. I can't.
Yeah. Did you ever I'm trying to think what the hell he's in?
Wasn't he in True Detective?
Yes. He was in True Detective. He was the villain in Luke Cage.
He's playing the new Blade?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the old Blade. I was like,
that's
Wesley
Snipes.
Yeah, I was like, they don't know who Wesley Snipes is.
That crazy bastard? No.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, I
didn't mind them.
Okay, because, like, obviously, the next phase for Marvel in general, right, is to go cosmic. Right?
It's gotta be, yeah.
Hold on. Does it? Because I'm sorry, we can't go cosmic and supernatural. Especially with the whole, I don't want to say Dr. Sleep. especially with Doctor Strange's
Yeah.
movie.
That's-
I really do think we're going to add some supernatural shit in.
Like what,
But
though?
that could be
Huh?
that could be
What?
taken away
I mean,
from
you
the
have-
cosmic, so it's not so much cosmic. That horror or that spectral part could take away from some of that. Everything's out in the fucking universe now. That could be their way of saying, like, all right, let's bring it back down to earth a little bit, and the next movie let's ramp it back up.
Okay.
That's probably their one to rest it at and pick up fuel and go back again. And I'm not throwing shade at Doctor Strange. I'm sure it's gonna be a great movie, but I'm saying that was probably the one to ground it for a little bit, refuel the plane, and then take back off to where they were at. Be a good movie still, but still take away from some of the cosmic stuff.
My thought process is we need a big bad, and what's the next big bad? Galactus, right?
I don't know if it's the next.
No. See, again, that goes to what it feels like was going to happen,
But
then
now maybe it's not.
But then Guardians 3 didn't happen, and now
Introduce Fantastic Four.
Oh,
But we've said that for how long now?
But they're doing it though. They are doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like finally, so Disney has bought back the rights for the X-Men and the
Okay.
Fantastic Four.
Oh wow.
So
So
it
that's
means-
why I asked you. I thought Fantastic Four was DC. So it's not.
Nope.
Okay. Okay. Because when he said Silver Surfer, that's
Yeah.
what made me think.
he said Silver Surfer and like all the Marvel movies. He was like,
Yeah. I totally thought they were.
Nope.
You know.
So yeah, so I mean, so they've already they are doing that. So I mean, that would be your that would be your gateway into cosmic.
okay, so no, but do you think that maybe since they kind of missed their chance, that maybe they don't go cosmic right away? Just because I mean, it's like okay, with them doing Blade, I really do feel like they have to introduce supernatural.
So
I mean, what are they
so-
going to do? Say vampires are like an alien race or some shit?
And the Fantastic Four isn't for this set.
Phase, so to
this
speak.
Phase 5.
yeah.
So here's
It's
the
not
thing,
in
though.
there,
So my question I'm gonna pose, and I don't. This doesn't mean like I'm not. What I'm about to say, I don't totally believe in, but it's like, how much longer do they have?
How much longer does Marvel have?
Mhm.
before that tailcoat.
How
starts
much
falling.
longer do they have before they start falling off?
You want my honest answer? I really do feel like they're falling off now.
So they have. Don't you feel that they need to push this?
I mean, they don't know that. Like, you know, you gotta think. Marvel has the biggest dick energy of any type of movie production. Like, with how many billions they have, like, I don't know how many in revenue from their movies, they may sit in here and think, okay, you know, maybe we can have, like, a 5-year period where our movies don't do as good.
I don't
You know,
think so.
slow them down a little bit, and then, like you were saying, like, you know,
Ground it,
So
pick up fuel, take back up.
So I'd like to attest to that. I mean, that's a good question that you posed because, like I said, me coming from just the very casual comic type of person, I grew up. I had all the toys, and and I dressed up as Spider-Man, Wolverine, all that all the time. But like, as from the casual, comic viewer and stuff like that, which I believe, I mean, is probably a good majority of America,
Uh-huh.
that are going to buy tickets to movies and stuff like that. Like, you're talking Iron Man, like your mainstream, you got Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Hulk, Captain America, Thor, all that. And so this, like, when I seen, when I seen the big release of all the movies to come out, I mean, besides Guardians and Thor, now I do know Blade, and stuff like that, but like you said, when you say they're falling off now, I mean, man, to the casual person, I mean, we recognize 1 or 2 movies out of this.
You're starting to get overwhelmed.
Yeah, when you
That's a really fair point.
that's why, and even too, not Infinity War,
Endgame.
Endgame, yeah, Endgame. That's why Endgame was so amazing, but also so sad because it's like that's it.
You
it's
feel like this is you have
This
enough
is my
closure.
leaping off
That's
point.
it. Yeah, like this. That's it. Like I mean, it was just like
I just went through so many
every
years of
ingredient
movies.
was so perfect in Avengers. I mean, all of your mainstream people, they all mesh together, the personalities. So when you start getting this back half of these movies come out, and the most casual comic person to watch it, we don't recognize half these people. And really, I think even Guardians is only as popular as it is because I've talked to different people that have watched it. They've never heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy ever before, but they're so damn funny and entertaining that you just can't not watch it. So besides that, that's talking about Ant-Man. Like, I feel like Ant-Man I mean, because I have watched them. You know, I feel like they're strictly like just kind of silly comedy.
Oh, yeah, they are. They are.
It's just strictly comedy versus. I think Guardians has that really perfect balance of comedy yet action. You know.
But what if it's like the movies that you were saying, like that the public wouldn't really know about? What if they start off with, instead of big dick energy where they're at with Endgame and going straight across to the next movie, what if it is to just start off by setting it all up, which is the perfect time for them to refuel and then continue up? What if that's a perfect way to set it up while
I think the problem with that is where are they going to set it up at? Because I mean, it's like, I think we have all these movies that are going to be continuations of what's going on now. But on the flip side, they also have the Disney Plus shows. So we don't necessarily know, are these people who are going to be in the TV shows, are they later going to be integrated into the movies?
Or if one of the fucking TV shows starts the movies, you know, instead of a movie starting it.
Right.
And then you're like already, like the first movie comes out, like Blade, you don't have Disney Plus. And let's say Blade comes out first,
then
and
you're
you
like,
for some reason, Doctor Strange walk in or Loki walk in, you're like, what?
You're like, I missed
All right,
something.
something is missing.
I would have never watched Doctor Strange, the actual movie, if it wasn't for Dustin. I'm like,
Really?
I've seen him in the Avengers, and I'm like, this guy's pretty cool, but it's not. I mean, for lack of better words, I mean, you know, it's not like the fucking like typical.
He's not a mainstream character.
Bro type of character. Mm-hmm. I mean, like Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, they're just badass characters. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, they're just badass. So, like, Strange, he's doing all these things with his hands, and, like, it is cool, but it's like, to watch an independent Doctor Strange, I was like, nah, bro, I don't want that. But he told me...
What is this magic?
Yeah, what? Yeah, I don't do none of that. Like, I might have done magic cards back in the day with my Yu-Gi-Oh, but I ain't doing that shit, you know, but, like, when he told me to watch Doctor Strange, and I watched it, I was like, wow, this is actually really good.
He's gonna be how we have to transition. Like, I don't think you can really argue.
Like,
that.
he's the foundation?
So that's the first movie?
No, so I got two things just to listen to this group collective. You guys talk. Got two things.
Yeah, you were being quiet for a while. I was a little scared.
Quick thing is this. I rest my case on, I think, and this goes exactly what you were saying, that they are going to have to re-grab an audience because they're about to fall off. And how they're going to do that is with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Because people know who they are.
I know who they are.
You know who
that's a good point.
Because back in the day, right, it was just a Batman movie, a Superman movie, a Spider-Man movie, a Batman movie, a Superman movie, a Spider-Man movie. And then all of a sudden it was like Fantastic Four, X-Men. People were like, we like this. And then it was Batman, Superman, Spider-Man,
Iron Man, yeah. Oh.
X-Men, Fantastic Four. And then so I think that's gonna be the hook that they're gonna have to get people back in with. Mm-hmm. Second thing is, I literally, this is my world. I live in this. I just comic stuff, period, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, am I gonna get burnt out on this? And then, like, I'm gonna get this pop in front of me, and it's Star Wars. From the time that I could comprehend a movie, Star Wars has been in my life. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's 2019, I'm about to be a 25-year-old man, and there's a new Star Wars movie coming out, and I am so fucking excited.
Sorry to cut you off on that. How many Star Wars movies are there?
That's the caveat. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, we are at an interesting time in cinema where it's like, what Marvel's doing is never been done. Mm-hmm. So it's like, in 15 years from now, how are we going to look back on this?
You know how I feel like we're going to look back on these, like, 80s horror movies. Like, you know how there's, like
some
they were way better back in the day.
Or, like, Friday the 13th or Halloween's, we're going to look at it like that. Like, you know, ooh, this was the golden age. And then it's like, oh, yeah.
Our kids are going to be watching that phase, the new phase, and we're going to be like, you know what? You motherfuckers don't even know about the Infinity War saga.
This is just them trying to make money and blah. It's not good anymore.
Yeah.
Blah, but
it'd be like the grandpas.
I feel like that's how it's going to be. It's going to be like, you know, right now, I'm not saying, you know, I could be wrong, but I do feel like the Infinity Saga was the golden age of all of
And now we got Lip is Silver.
But I still feel like they still, like, for true tried and true comic viewers that from this day one, like you guys, I still think they definitely do need to honor, these movies. They need to give these heroes and villains their movies that they do deserve. Like Blade and other things like that, and some of the not as mainstream characters. I still feel like they do need to do it, but like you said, unless they're pushing out, not. I mean, give me an example of a character that's probably not so mainstream that.
What's the Asian dude that they're
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, yeah.
So I don't even know what that is. That sounds like I'd order that at Panda Express. So they need to honor those movies for people like yourself, because like y'all would want that, and y'all would
may not be my specific hero, but there's someone out there who would appreciate
exactly. There's gonna be someone out there that appreciates this. Now, don't spend, you don't go full big dick energy on it, but then put that out in a year, and then within 6 months, another year, put out an X-Men movie. Like you said, I think you hit it right.
Which could probably tie him in, and then you
put it all together, because try to keep them all together as one.
Fair point.
That would work. I mean, because it's like, I guess that's what they did with like Black Panther. It's like, okay,
not a lot of people knew who he was.
Tease him in. Okay, who is this? Oh, he's a part of Civil War.
Oh my god!
Then it's like,
Captain America's chasing him.
Right, and then it's like, he has his own movie. He already has, an established fan base.
Right.
So, the true fans are going to go see him.
Right.
People who seen him in his introduction movie are like, he's from this movie. He's a part of the crew. Let me go watch him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you think they recast for X-Men?
What the fuck do you mean, of course?
He was astonished by that one.
Like...
So does
I agree, but at the same time... I agree, but at the same
Leslie
time...
was appalled at that question. Like, how fucking dare you?
Do you want to see another Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique?
Hell no.
Okay, then.
The main reason why I'm asking is I agree with everything other than Hugh Jackman.
Look.
Get the fuck out of here, Hugh Jackman.
Stop. Yes, you get out, dude. Just get out. We don't need that dude to be fucking Wolverine for 20,000 fucking years.
Especially because it's like, we ruined the best backup we could have got. Liv Schreiber could have been an awesome Wolverine, but no, we had to waste him as being Sabretooth during fucking X-Men Origins?
He was in yeah.
Origins, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, me personally, I feel like that would have been like one of the only people who could have just walked in.
This could be a cool topic, like to go off whatever, right? Because I am somebody that I acknowledge, okay? Hugh Jackman, for that specific Wolverine role, was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You know what Wolverine really looks like?
He's short as
He's
hell.
fucking like 5'2", and he's like a boulder, okay? Hugh Jackman's like 6'4". Alright? So... that's not even a comic book accurate Wolverine. He never put on the fucking suit. Like,
we saw the glimpse of in that in the Japan one.
So when people were like, "I'll take a new X-Men, but I really want that Hugh Jackman," I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
No.
Okay, but I mean that's right. When he said that, I pointed at him. That's me, the casual viewer. If you put in a Wolverine and he's scrawny as shit, he ain't got a cool voice, he ain't got the beard and stuff like that. I'm serious. I mean, I'm just saying, like you said. I understand 100% where you're coming from. Like you said, the actual suit, the yellow and purple suit.
Yellow and blue.
Yeah, yellow and blue, yellow and purple suit. Like that's what I'm saying.
He's like,
so that's
sure.
That's what I'm saying. Well, depending on how good or bad your TV was back in the day, like that, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The contrast.
Some people used to put a magnet to the TV.
My TV was like
forever.
was as big as this table and was only 12 inches wide. So. But that's what I'm saying. So if they recast a Wolverine and it's a truer version to the comic, but it ain't big and brawny and badass
the majority of the
as
audience
Hugh Jackman,
like,
they're not gonna view it. So it's like it all circles around to everything where it's like, what's gonna make them money?
See, if I get a new Wolverine, I want like a bloodlust Wolverine, but I don't think that works out in the Marvel Cinematic.
Yeah, you can't.
But like, and
If
that's
you're
what I'm
having
saying.
Blade, though.
I don't want a new Wolverine
But
if
he's
it's
killing
not
vampires.
He's also a dick in the
that.
comics.
Yes,
He's also a foul.
He's also in charge of the Avengers. But
like I don't know. If you put Blade in the same universe as that, I think you can go with one or two.
I think no. I think we are at the day and age of where people we've okay. Like if I'm Mr. Moneybags and I'm in my chair and I'm in control of all of this, right? I go, okay, we've established people like the genre, right? Mm-hmm. Let's take it a step farther and give people the true form of stuff.
I don't know.
If it don't work with Blade, dial it back.
Look at Deadpool.
Deadpool.
That is
That
the
was
most.
a fair
That
point.
is the most comic.
No. Does it matter being comic accurate, or does it matter attaching a likable actor to said character?
Fair point to do that with, though, but it still doesn't change the fact that they did that with Deadpool. That they went from like, here's Iron Man and all that, but here's Deadpool.
Right, but I mean,
And
but it's
even
also
though
like
they attached Ryan Reynolds.
But what did we say? Oh, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool? I could see that 100%.
But
Because
why,
he
though?
acts like him.
Because he acts like Deadpool.
Right, but so that's what I'm saying. Does the actual comic accurate, which is more important?
There is a balance, right? But I
Yeah.
think we're to the point now where it's like you can put a 5'4" big muscle dude in a bright ass yellow and blue suit with claws, and people will be like, "I like that."
Mm-hmm.
But I think what Leslie's getting at, I think the personality is more important than like comic story.
It is. You're
Because
right
you
because
can create a brand new story as long as that is totally a insert name here move. Like you can watch something that didn't happen in a single Deadpool comic. No. But if there was a comic in that situation,
I have the
that's what Deadpool
I have the perfect casting right now, right? If tomorrow we all wake up and there's a trailer for Wolverine 1, okay? Brand new Wolverine. He's in the yellow suit like he normally is, but it's Tom Hardy.
Who?
Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Bro, lit.
Y'all be all fucking excited for that shit, right?
I'll watch it.
Because that is somebody, he's not necessarily like the height or anything, but he is a big, muscled up, grungy guy. He fits the personality of Wolverine, but yeah, we put him in the fucking bright-ass yellow suit.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. So the simple fact that you need to have a good character, a good actor to help portray that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not gonna put Jim Parsons from Big Bang Theory as Wolverine, you know? Right? you know what I'm saying? But you're right. That like the personality, I mean, that's.
And you need to see this person and believe that this person is Wolverine.
Absolutely.
Exactly, and that. I think we're arguing, but we're actually agreeing. But if when you do that, we can push the envelope on
because they like this character so much, we can not make them less sexy and more comic.
Exactly. So the thing with like Hugh Jackman is like they never put him in the suit because they thought people were going to think it's stupid. Yeah. Which everyone wanted, but it's like I think we're now to the time where like
the point. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, put him in the silly costume.
Let me ask you this: so you're talking about it, putting him in the suit that might throw off some viewers, If I can recall, like it's very plain Jane. It's just yellow and blue. There's really nothing crazy about it, right? Like, would you care as true comic viewers if like they put a real hard spin on the suit? Like if it was like really detailed, you know what I'm saying? Like they made it 2019.
Like they completely gave him a completely
It's kind of like Iron Man 1 suit versus like Endgame suit. Like once you know what I'm saying? Like you know how like kind of simple.
Take the original design but modify it.
Yeah, and make it
modernize it.
Yeah,
no, they would have to because he would look stupid in fucking yellow and blue spandex.
It would look like a comic costume in like a live action. It just wouldn't mesh.
Yeah,
exactly. I just don't want X-Men and they're all in fucking black leather jumpsuits and that they all like.
The point is,
and Wolverine's just a dude in a dude.
Both of you are making the same points, but are arguing your points like both of you are saying you're wrong. The point that he made was the same point you made earlier because you're like, I think we're at the time where we can put good-looking ass people who. Whoa, that's what you said. You said Tom Hardy being known to be a good-looking man. That's what you said. Anyway,
moving on.
You can put people who are phenomenal actors like that and who can fit the part.
Right.
But put them in silly ass outfits because it's what they did in the comics.
Right.
But the point that he made is that you don't have to sexualize them. You ain't got to show no cleavage, nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Tom Hardy, known to be a good-looking guy, known to have jacked as shit, playing Venom. Not once showed his chest, not once showed abs, not once did that. He was in a fucking same as disgusting ass vomit, throw up fucking hoodie.
Right.
And nobody paid attention to that shit until you said that.
It's funny because I think just being a man that's not something you think about, because it's like, in almost every, like okay, take Superman, like Man of Steel. Do you know how many times he's just randomly shirtless? Like they do try to.
It's because to appeal to the people, I guess women.
I'm not opposed to seeing Henry Cavill shirtless. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
To the women whose husbands took them to go watch their...
Exactly. It appeals to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, we don't care if we see his shirt. I mean, he fights in the comic book all the time. Sometimes the shirt gets ripped. We don't care. But like,
what kind of personality?
But my fiance's probably sitting there going, God damn.
I guess it does need to be a perfect... Like, that's what makes people very good for, like, makes them perfect for that character when they have the good balance of, they're a good actor, so we can be more comic accurate with them.
Exactly.
What kind of Wolverine would we have to get? Are we getting, like, more commando, in charge of the Avengers? Kind of like, what would you guys need for it to work out well?
How triggered would you be?
I don't like
how triggered would you be if John Cena was the Wolverine?
Okay, we're talking about going shorter, and you're like, let's bring in John Cena.
I mean, would that be?
But that's what he's saying is that it triggered. Like I'm not
gonna lie. That kind of goes with what I was saying. Like he's one of those characters he's like an actor that's so likable to where it's kind of like, it may not be accurate, but dude, I give him
I
a
don't
shot.
like him in movies, but that's my opinion.
That's me. I don't like him.
Listen, every time I see John Cena in a movie, I'm literally like almost wanting to avoid.
Yeah, you can ask Dustin. We grew up together, so like I was John Cena for like 4 Halloweens in a row because I always had the shave cut, dude. I was super fanatic back in the like 05s to 10 days. Like when he was big and wrestling the belt, all that. I love John Cena as a wrestler.
Fucking sweatbands.
Yes, I had the sweatbands, dude. I had it all. But like him acting I think is just so cringy. I mean, to me, like, I seen what's the movie he's in? I think Bumblebee. I think he's in. Like it's just so cringy to me. Like The Rock acting to me is a little bit better.
It's a little bit better. But
it's more natural.
It's more
natural, but I think John Cena's cringy, so that's why I bring up being triggered about John Cena. But like you said, his body type and everything else kind of fits the role.
I mean, I think a hot take. I think he'd be a really good Wolverine because I think he is so cringy. You can't put him in a silly costume, and make him do silly things on camera.
The general population who have seen Hugh Jackman be a badass, they're gonna look at that and be like,
this is
making
Wolverine.
him look stupid. But like in all reality, that motherfucker look goofy as shit in the comics.
Okay, but hold on. This is the problem I have with Hugh Jackman. He was Wolverine for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Can anyone else come in and play Wolverine?
Yeah.
Yes, but
yes,
that's the
for
thing.
us.
You can't play that style of Wolverine.
Yes, you can because he played Wolverine. That's Wolverine. He was very comic accurate, like from the way that he was.
Like his personality.
His personality. He was an ex-soldier. He was a dickhead. Didn't want to do. He was just kind of like everybody, leave him the fuck alone. And like when he has to do things, he's just angry and mad about it.
Kind of goes about the angry and mad about it. Goes about the fastest way. Like how do I get to here or whatever. Like Gambit, you're gonna take me to this island. No, I'm not. Bam, knock his ass out. All right, fly me, bitch. Like we're going now. Like I'm trying to get this shit out of the way. I got shit to do.
I'm thinking of Wolverine being incorporated to the rest of the Marvel universe as needing to be incorporated one of two ways. Either like the captain of the Avengers, now that Captain America's gone, quote unquote, or, well, I don't know why I said that, but either that style where he's being forced into that leadership role and not so much as X-Men, more as
That's
Logan.
a good question.
Or is he going to be incorporated more as a, like, bloodlustful kind of get the thrill off killing?
I'm just the
Wolverine.
assault party.
Like, to me, I see two options here, and I don't know which one. I feel like
the
leader would be better for the...
Well, I mean, he's not like a maniac in the comics.
No, but my question is what you answer first is who do you see out of who we have and what movies are coming up in the Marvel Universe besides X-Men, who's going to lead? and then you could put it as is Wolverine that type to go over this person to be leader, or then it puts you in that role and answers your question for you.
I would honestly have to say like it would seem like they would start him out as just being a member, like an everyday hero, and then put him into that leader role. Just because,
I can see that.
like, if he comes in now, like, yes, we know he's Wolverine, but do the rest of the heroes within the world know? It's kind of like Captain Marvel. Yes, we know she's badass, but in the movie, it just seems like she kind of just showed up and, like, you know, just whooped ass. You kind of need to explain, like, if he's going to be the leader, that's cool, but we need to see why he would be.
See, I think they missed his shot because he really takes over the Avengers a lot sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted to keep Captain America. It was iconic. Did well.
I mean, they could still throw him in now, though.
They can, but I think like how it's played out, it would change the entire dynamic, and maybe that's what they need. Maybe they're like, hey, we are starting to fall off. Captain Marvel didn't do well. There were a couple of movies that they expected to do much better and didn't. Maybe they are like, okay, we need to put the brakes on how we're going. We're going downhill. How can we change this and keep the same genre? And maybe that's what they're going for is, what do people like? How can we change what we have to fit a new genre that doesn't just completely abandon what we have?
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
They could go for a more action-y, more adult-like feeling for it by putting Logan in charge.
Yeah.
But that would just be... that just seems so unlikely because that would be just a complete tonal shift from everything we've seen.
What Leslie's saying, I think, is like we have to see him. You need to, not the audience. You need time to show the other Avengers
why he needs
to be the leader. That he was a soldier and he is a hero and he can make the hard choices. Because they need to see that.
Because how many movies would that take?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Or 1.5. He could be a cameo in his own movie, and then
obviously that goes over well because I mean, look at Iron Man and Captain America. Their feud to see who leads it.
Yeah.
Look how well that done. You know?
I would say you would need a couple of movies to show because if not, again, you just have Captain Marvel where it's like, oh, she comes in and just like just basically
at the last possible second
takes over everything. It's just like,
I mean, they would look at him as like. That's just some douchebag who has claws and smokes cigars.
And he gets he gets forced into that position in the comics. I don't see how you can do that.
You do it. You just like you. They would force him in there.
Right.
But to force him in, would Captain Marvel just like have to completely fuck up and then him walk in and be like, "Yo, idiots, what are you doing? Let me do this." Like,
why would they go to Wolverine and not Strange?
Why are we picking Captain Marvel?
No, because no. I mean, it's okay. So let's set the scenario, right? Let's say they're in battle, right? Let's say Wolverine's already established and like he's fighting along with Avengers. Whoever's leading it, pick somebody to lead it. Strange is leading it right now. He leads him to a fucked up situation, and then all of a sudden Wolverine's just like. It's the soldier, and he comes out. He's like, "Listen, this is what we're doing. You do this. Everybody go.
Y'all get out of my way." Claws come
and then
out,
he starts giving orders, and then at the end, it's like,
okay, maybe he should.
The group decides. Listen, I think we want to appoint you.
I would say the only way that would work is if he took reins in like a major battle, like like an Avenger level movie. This can't be like a solo thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He'd be established at this point.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
We can go more and more into this.
Again, I told you I can talk about
loose reins on that one. All right, getting fired up.
So we got two biggest games that have come out in a long time. Both one I was very excited for. One that I was a little, I don't want to say skeptical. I would say I was very hesitant on. The Outerworlds and Modern Warfare. What are you gonna talk about first?
Can we talk about how they came out on the same day?
Day apart.
A day apart.
Thursday and a Friday.
That's so weird.
Why?
Because I would imagine, I guess these are two games that aren't necessarily competing against each other directly. It'll kind of just be like, if I was like Obsidian, it's like, Modern Warfare is coming out. Are you sure we want to make our game come out?
Yeah,
because you got people like half the
they
majority
do
are going
that
to
with
Modern
music.
Warfare.
I mean, that's what rappers do with albums. They make sure like if one power rapper's like,
Drake's coming out.
Yeah, Drake's coming out with the album. I'll wait till next week. I'll wait till next week. I'll let Drake do his thing first, and yeah, because that's all that's going to be the talk.
Right, and it's just for me, it's a little out.
And you want to be the one that comes out second.
Yeah,
that's the best thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if we kept the music theme, it would be like if Luke Bryan comes out with an album, then Lil Wayne's like, I'll drop one.
Right, I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're not
Different
completely
genres.
direct. They're not directly competing against each other, but
like think about this, like, I've watched a very little actual cable TV, but when I do, I mean, it's like local channels, ESPN, or I sit down and watch, other channels of my fiance, and literally all channels, whether it be local, ESPN, or even TLC, Modern Warfare commercials have been playing for 3 months straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I think that's what you're talking about. I mean,
but my thing is too is that like Outerworlds was made by the people who left for the Fallout 76 thing, right? Mm-hmm. So they're their own company now, right?
Well, no, well, not necessarily. So, Obsidian made Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. So, the developers that were going to make the next Fallout game did not want to make Fallout 76. They knew it was going to be trash. So, they left to go to Obsidian and made this masterpiece.
Okay, so my point is, when you look at
he just
Activision,
low-key slid masterpiece in there.
When you look up Activision and you look up Obsidian, which one do you know of to begin with?
Activision.
So whenever you see the trailers, my thing is that maybe they didn't push out that much funding because they're aware of, all right, this is our first game that we made since we've acquired these people, this and that. We feel like it's going to be a phenomenal game. We're going to throw a couple advertisements out there, talk to Xbox about putting on the Xbox Game Pass, and we're going to do our thing through that.
Let the product speak for itself.
Mm-hmm. And then where you have like Activision where it's like, Call of Duty, motherfuckers, here we are. Yeah. Every fucking 5 minutes.
Okay.
I would even expand on that point that because Obsidian is not a new.
No.
They are a tried and true company,
and they were advertising specifically to their fan base.
Exactly, and I think they knew, like, we know this is good. We know y'all are gonna buy it. We know you're gonna enjoy it. So
we're not worried about Call of Duty affecting our numbers.
Okay, so go into it, man. Tell us about it.
So, oh my god,
which one are we going into?
The Outerworlds. That's one like.
So it is basically set the tone for never seen the trailer. It's Earth sets up a space colony across this other solar system that they found, basically, and over time, a corporation called Spacer's Choice has a board of directors, and it's they've basically just taken over. They're just kind of like a dictator of this colony. It's really interesting because, like, if you play other Fallout games, it's always some, like, drastic thing at the end. It's always, like, a faction that wants to take over the world and the other faction that wants to kill the other faction completely. Mm-hmm. It's just, like, these people, they're not fucking, like, terrible. Well, they are terrible, but it's not, like, world-ending. It's just, like...
They're not blowing up every planet they go to.
It's just, like, basically, like, if you're a colonist and live on one of the planets... You have a choice of either, like, doing whatever job they make you do for very little pay, and you can barely afford, like, your food and your housing, and you just live in poverty, and you have no other choice. Or you can go, be one of the marauders you fight, and you just live off the land and whatever. So, you are a part of a colony ship called the Hope that was sent to the colony. Mm-hmm. Your ship, is like stuck in some rift thing, whatever, and then 70 years later, a guy that's wanted by the bad guy, the villain of the game, the board, comes on the ship and gets you. He only has time to get you off the ship, and you're just, that's what you do. You're just like, you're gonna help take down the board because they're just a really shitty corporation, and it's like space North Korea.
Okay.
Like, it's terrible. Like you were saying before, it's like terrible for the job that you're doing. We're gonna, like you made the analogy. We're gonna make you shovel shit for 10 hours a day for shit pay, but we know you're gonna fucking do it because it's all you got.
You got no money. What else?
You got nothing else.
There's literally when you're one of the first people you meet in the thing. There's a little you talk to somebody, and he's a grave digger, right? When you die, they're like, yeah, somebody's got to pay for this grave, so we're gonna take it out of your money. And the guy's like, dude, what? Like, what the hell, man? Like, that's so just shit like that. You're just stuck down by the man.
It's like you're not
like.
It's not like evil, but it's just like everyday.
It's just everyday evil.
Okay.
Like,
Now, Dustin, you said you don't read a whole bunch of the terminal logs and all that stuff, right? You just play.
I'm a
through
bad
the game.
RPG player.
Okay, so there's a lot of things. In one of the terminals, it talks about the guy wants to take a day off or take a week off, and to be able to take time off, you have to pay the company back. So you don't get paid leave. It's like, I need off, but it's going to take like 2 months pay to pay off for a couple of, like...
You gotta pay them for the time you're not working.
Yeah, you're not there.
There's shit like that where you're like, dude, what the fuck? That's so fucked, man.
But that's all you got, Leslie. Unless you know how to farm stuff on a different fucking planet
or
that
you can
may not know
go
about.
outside the city walls and live with all the fucking monsters and creatures that will fucking kill you.
Wow, okay.
But I mean, it's
Capitalism.
so the story of it, I would say, is extremely captivating because, like I said, like Fallout, Skyrim, it's like those stories aren't bad, but they're just kind of simplistic.
Okay, let me ask you, because this is a game that I want to get, and I know that they say that there's different pathways you can go to.
Oh.
How is it for the dialogue options?
Insane.
Okay, so
he was showing me earlier.
This is what
it's
Dustin
crazy.
and I need to have a back and forth on because he made an option at the beginning and I made another. He doesn't know some of the stuff that I know, and I guarantee it there's stuff that I know
That he does.
that he doesn't.
So before we go into that, I'm gonna simplify it and answer his question. So, how you go when Phineas, the mad scientist guy who's like reviving you, when when you get to make your character, you get to pick skills, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's like you get to pick a job that you were, and that gives you different bonuses to stuff. And it's like, so you get to pick different type of skills. So with the dialogue option, it's really cool. So you get the base set, right? You can take a point away from said dialogue. If you go below average, you're considered dumb, and you've therefore unlocked dumb option in the dialogue. So when you level up, you get 10 points every time you level up. So you can level up melee, your dodge, your two-handed weapons or long guns. You can updo your intelligence, your dialogue options. So the smarter you become, you can therefore do things. So there's options. Then there's, if you're a certain level, you can do intimidate, persuade, or lie.
That's some D&D shit right
And
there.
perception, which I don't know how you upgrade that.
Okay, now let me ask you this. You
Just
say
No,
It's not an option.
I
Like,
lied.
you go through there,
Then there's
perception's not on there.
then there's also engineer and medical. So if you're talking to somebody and there's like, if you're on a mission and then your intelligence is leveled up and they're like, you know, it's some stupid thing where I have to go pick up this and this and this, and the guy's like, oh, no, and then you'd be like, dude, it's just this. And then it's like, the quest gets way simpler because you only have to do like one of those things.
because you don't have to, like, I guess, figure out how to
Yeah.
this
Or if
thing.
you accidentally pick up the book at the beginning, and then he's like, man, I really wish I had this book. And then your first option is, I found this book. like, you're like, I'm only like an hour and a half into the game, and I accidentally just skipped an entire part of the story.
Now, you say you can lower points and, like, you can know you have a dumb. Like, you can be dumb. Is there, like, any perks to that?
There's
like,
advantages. There's like
would someone be like, you know, they're coming to you asking you this and you're just like, I don't know. And then they're just like, oh, well, he's too dumb to know anyway. And then they're just like, why are you here? And you're just like, I don't know, I'm stupid. And you're just like, oh, well, you know, this guy is an idiot. He's just wandering around. carry on.
Yeah,
They're just-
it's yeah.
So
I
have
mean,
maxed
Bro,
out
I
Persuade.
want to play this game so bad because that's some D&D
dude,
shit right there.
you can like. There's a side quest that I only know like how it goes because I encountered a bug which made me had to go reload a save and do it again. But since my persuade, I'm like fucking Han Solo of space. Okay, I'm really good with guns and I'm really smart and I'm a smooth talker. So I know what happens when you don't do this. There's a side quest that you literally can skip the whole fucking thing just by intimidating somebody. We have to go do a bunch of bullshit, but if your dialogue's all the way up, you're like, you're gonna give it to me, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And there's like, Jesus Christ, here, and then boop, mission complete.
Do you feel like you're You feel like you're
Do you miss out on
taking?
that
experience?
Yeah,
Groundbreaker?
like are you taking away?
one?
You're taking away any of the experience doing
no,
that?
not
He
necessarily.
doesn't know because he never did the missions. He just intimidated and walked away. So like, there's no telling.
So for specifically that one, not really.
but like, do you think there is ways to miss out like so much experience?
No, because I think so far only I've encountered you can only do that things limited times. Like I don't think the game is not designed. You're not gonna miss something that you were supposed to get.
No, I'm
I
talking
get that
about
point,
like,
but like if you intimidated him, if you would have went ahead and done that mission, are you missing out on literally like leveling up on
So,
experience?
no.
No,
and this
because
is
you
why-
get. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
This game, actually, you can kill anybody in this game, and for that reason, they seriously sat down and was like, okay, what if we kill, one of the main people? Because you can really kill any person in the game. And so killing them, they're like, if we kill them, how does that prevent you from proceeding in? So like in Skyrim, if you killed off one of the main characters, it wouldn't let you because it would affect the entire
would break
story.
the fucking game.
Here, they have seriously thought down about just any scenario about how to proceed. So you want to talk about dialogue? Okay, you've completely eliminated this character. You've gotten rid of that dialogue. What is our redundancy to make sure that this continues on? So you have those options.
Okay. And the answer to my question, I guess you guys kind of already answered because like if let's say you took your level's high enough to be able to intimidate him, right?
Mhm.
But I'm not. Right? I took my shit in different things. You skip it all by intimidating, but I didn't. So now I gotta go do this mission. We do get the same experience because you took the time out of your day to be like, you know what, I'm gonna level up this way. I can talk through my shit like that. But me, I'm like, you know what, I did this other shit. So therefore, there's payoffs either way. So I guess
So-
you wouldn't be missing out on stuff.
There are payoffs. You actually get experience if you use Intimidate. So if
Yeah.
you go on the mission, you get experience and everything from that. But like if you use Intimidate and it's
You get the
successful,
experience off of it.
you get a shit ton of experience.
Yeah. So if,
That makes
if
sense.
you're
Yeah,
in
that
a
makes
dialogue
sense.
option, you can. I mean, just from like if you're an avid RPG player, you can tell like, okay, I say these things, he's gonna keep talking and keep talking and keep talking, and he's gonna leave information on, and then that's gonna give me the side quest. Or I can be like, just fucking tell me what you want to fucking tell me.
You know when to
and
cash
then
it in.
He's like,
Yeah.
okay, listen here, and then it's like, boom, 6,000 XP.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That makes
I love
sense.
this game.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That
phenomenal.
algorithm,
I'm gonna be an
the algorithm in that
asshole.
game that sounds mind blowing.
It is. It's.
How long did it take to develop a game like that? Like,
I have no idea.
there's
That-
no
that-
telling.
no.
There's
No.
I mean, that,
Because
there's
there's no telling how long Fallout 76 took either, so they could have left the beginning of that, and that would have
That's
took
amazing.
Yeah,
it
it's
could've been
really
years. I guarantee it.
I saw a little video somebody put on YouTube or something, but it's like, what happens if the first guy you meet in Edgewater, Reed? What happens if you kill him right off the bat?
So they experimented.
And then the companion you get right there,
Yeah.
she's just like, what the fuck did you just do? Like the companion's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, it's like, well, and then the story continues on, and it continues on a whole different way than what me and you both did.
Man, I bet that
Well,
Reddit
see,
scene is so
here's
I
the
am
thing.
killing that motherfucker.
I actually kicked Reed out, and you didn't. So we actually know differences in Adelaide, I think is how you
Yeah.
pronounce her name. Like, I know stuff. Do you want me to go into detail on it?
Not too much
Because
detail, because I
I
do want to play the
yeah.
game.
Let's.
I mean,
save
I'm
some
past that, so I
detail.
wouldn't
Okay.
care. But yeah, I mean, it's very. You can have up to 2 companions at a time. They you can fit them out with different weapons. You can fit them out with
So
different
it's
armor.
Witcher. It's Witcher, 2 companions at a time. I'm talking about Witcher having like 2 lovers at a time.
Oh my god! I was
Bro, I was
Yeah,
like,
that went
was
wide
like-
over your head.
But yeah, I mean, and there's a whole skill tree that you get to upgrade them with as well, as long as your own.
Okay, so let me ask you both this. With you having played it, I assume you haven't beat it yet.
Oh god, no.
What are you already thinking about? Oh, my next playthrough. Oh, when I play this again, this is how I'm going to play it.
fair point.
No, because I'm at a certain point in the story where I fucking cannot proceed.
What do you mean?
Like
You level lock?
it is that so there's no level locks.
Well, I mean, a mental level lock. You know you can't fuck up those people, so why would you go over that type of mental lock?
Yeah, I mean, I'm stuck in a point where it's like
I really didn't take time to
If
look
I-
at my shit.
I gotta either go like I got options here. I can like try to do this and really fuck this up, or I can go to some side quests and like level up, get my XP, get some better guns,
And then
like
figure out what to
and
do.
then figure out what's next.
Okay.
I am, because I've been reading the dialogue and everything. I'm really like, next time, instead of doing this option, what happens if I do this?
I do that in
Because
the
that's-
Republic.
Because that's how every time I go through dialogue, I'm like, man, I really want to see what the other option does too. But you only get one chance, unless you want to like make an option, go through, play like an hour, and then reset back to the last save. So I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make my decisions this time, and I'm just kind of going through the main story. I've got a lot of open side quests that I'm
And-
trying not to get too
and
invested
You're
in.
gonna have to do them.
I'm
Okay. So Justin's like, you're already fucking yourself in the future.
I'm already one of those people that's like, even in Telltale games, I'm like, I make a decision and immediately I just kind of block out what's happening. I'm like, what would have happened if I put 2 or if I did number 3? Because like in the Old Republic, every single choice you make, you know, you have like a dialogue option and it's like, oh, yeah, is the answer, and then you keep going. It's like, okay, and it keeps talking, and then okay, and then you get to the part where you're supposed to choose. The Old Republic, like the online game, the MMO, the Star Wars Old Republic does not do that. Every single one that you click makes a fucking difference.
See, this one
And
is...
you would be like, oh, bro, you said fuck you way back in the day. You're on the dark side now. Like, you start following that way, and you're like, but I didn't mean to. That was old me. I don't know what I'm doing.
Outerworlds is similar, but not to that extreme. Like, there's some dialogue that it almost makes you go through,
Okay.
but then there's other dialogue that is like, will determine how it goes.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
You can be
it's-
nice. You can be dick. You can be like a yeah, I'll help you. Like you can be like, go fuck yourself, or I'd love to help you, or
I wanna help you,
I
but
don't
I
want
get
to fucking
something
help
out of
you, but yeah. What is it?
The first
Like-
companion, you have the option of being like, yeah, I'll help you grow, or don't fucking walk with me, or dude, go, she loves you, be her lesbian lover, or it can be like, no, fuck that bitch, I need you more than she does. Like, you have all these other options that are straight up like, you can be her big brother that cares for her, or you can be the guy that's, no, you're my hoe, I'm gonna pimp you out, because I need you for my ship. Shit.
What the fuck is this game?
So you literally
This is
have,
the RP.
We went.
It's
You-
the Outer Worlds.
you have options
Oh my
on
God.
options based on the dialogue
Yeah.
that you go through.
And it's got. I mean, the aesthetic of it is so pleasing, and you travel from. You're not stuck on one world. You go from planet to planet to planet to planet, bounce back and forth and back and forth. Because you have
What
a ship.
planet do you see? Is it it's like Borderlands type map once you get to the planet, where it's like just a section, or is it like
No, it's
a
pretty
No
big.
Man's Sky where you can go across the whole goddamn planet?
It depends on where you go.
Yeah. There are. I mean, there are some places where you go where it's like a really tiny planet where you can explore the whole thing. But there's not that much to it. Or there's giant planets. There's planets. I like Terra 2. I've been to Edgewater and that's it.
Yeah.
Like
Like, you go there and it's like, okay, hop on your ship and go to the next place, and you're like, oh, okay, that's it. And then you leave and you're like, wait a minute. I think that planet's, because you see the size of it, you're like, I think this is a lot more to explore than what the mission
Because
had
that's what I
us
loved
do.
about No Man's Sky. Like, I played it back when shit. Like, I really want to pick it up now, like I was telling you about. But, like, once you go from one planet to the other, you fly your ship there, and it does take you time. And when you get there, you can enter on this side of the planet, this side, and you can walk that whole thing all the way around if you
it's
want
not
to.
that. It's not that.
That's the
It's-
part that I was like, damn, that's insane. But that would have been something that that would be really cool.
To
But then
actually have
because
a
there's only a
fully
certain amount of
developed
planets.
world.
So
Yeah.
nah, I disagree with that.
Have you played No Man's Sky?
No, I don't,
Okay, then I don't want to hear it.
I don't care to either because I am someone I probably put 400 hours into Fallout 4,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because if I'm going to a mission and I saw a fucking question mark, I'm sorry, main mission. I'm supposed to be finding my son. Sorry, dude. I gotta go figure out what the fuck's going on in this town. I gotta find every clue. I gotta go in here. I gotta do. There's a cave over there.
Then you spend 9 hours making a base.
Let's see what's in it. I'm spending 9 hours doing fucking nothing.
I did that, and it took me 4 years to beat Skyrim.
Wow.
So I'm glad that this game is the perfect amount. I guess personally for me, the perfect amount of exploration versus. I feel I don't have to go over there because there's nothing over there.
I'm different because I like the exploration fact and the storyline fact, but like I guess not need, but like I would prefer to explore until my heart's content, not until the game stops me.
With that being
That's
said,
my mentality.
when you get the game, you have to take the difficulty into consideration. This game has, I want to say 2. Dustin will probably say 3 different ways of playing it.
Yeah.
There's one, I want to play it for the story. I want to be able to read stuff and get character development.
Yeah.
There's one where I'm a masochist. I literally just want to watch
Fuck shit
myself
up.
die inside. And then there's the one that's kind of a balance between gunplay and story. And how you are and how you want to play the game is going to be dependent on which game mode you pick. Now, you can't change the game mode unless you pick Supernova, which Dustin and I both did, and decided that was not the game mode for any human being that values life. But that's one thing when you start taking into consideration.
I am gonna get this game.
Same.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna buy Modern Warfare and then I'm gonna buy this game.
It's very. I mean, if you are someone that you just absolutely love Fallout and you love Skyrim, and the
RPGs in
mechanic
general?
that I would say specifically these, it's because it's
Really?
no, it's to everything. I mean, there's a it's not VAT system, but there's a VAT system. When you walk up to a bin loot thing and you look at it, the same type of thing comes up. Dude, it's
essentially like Fallout.
yeah, it's just like, so if you love those games, you will love this game will make you love it more than you love everything else. It's so much better than anything you've ever played.
Now, Dustin, this is a question for you since you've played it. What system are you playing it on?
To PC.
You're playing it on PC? Have you had an issue with motion blur?
So that's my last point on it was going to be this. So there's not a problem with the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's an artistic choice that they made that when you are not, it's a weird, when something is not, when you're like to medium range away from things or far away, the image isn't as clear, it's kind of blurry. If you don't like that, which I didn't, because I messed around with the fucking settings. I was dropping frame rate, I was changing my resolution, couldn't fucking figure it out. Nexus came out with a mod, and it's a mod that manually takes off the gamma ray resolution, and everything is like sharp along the way.
Because I don't know if this, I was going to ask, hoping you were on PlayStation. At least for me on PC, it is, if you get motion sickness, or even if you don't, when you first start playing it, it has that, I've got to go in and change my settings because this is just choppy. And I've got a really good PC, and it was one of those things that it's the art style, and you have to know what you're going into because when you first leave the first cave, when you're dropped down and you start looking around, you will be disoriented. Or is it just me?
No,
you
takes,
go in and then you immediately hit escape. You're like, okay.
It's
like
not
how Apex was
it's
when it
not
came out?
bad. No.
Because that game fucked me up for a long time.
No.
And it was more like the motion of it and everything like that, and I was just like, oh my god.
That was fixed by literally taking out motion blur.
Yeah.
But in this game,
it's
it's like I said, if you download that Nexus mod for free, anybody that wants to on PC, it takes that away.
Okay.
It gets it because like everything's blurry and it's not bad blurry. It's just it's kind of like real life. Where like
Yeah.
you see something far away, it's not crystal clear. Like
But it's not
as
that
far as
blurry
I can
either.
see. But it's like when
But-
you do start moving,
When you're
You're
sitting
like-
in front of a screen, that's part of what your eyes focus on.
yeah,
And so you're focusing on something that's out of focus while other things are in focus.
Yep.
And it's like you're seeing multiple layers that you're not supposed to be seeing
Yeah.
at the same time, and it gets you disoriented. So,
Yeah. So yeah, well, so all the PC heads out there, Nexus has a free mod, that'll clear up right away, and I downloaded it, and it everything was like a little sharper.
that was my only thing. I've gotten used to it now, but that was my only complaint. I like the artistic style, but that just really had me disoriented for the first hour. So.
Oh, I spent like an hour changing settings. I spent an hour just like maybe I go
Trying to
full
figure
screen,
it
maybe I
out.
go widescreen, maybe if I go this, let's bring the resolution up and try this. Let's bring the graphics all the way down. Let's go to all the way to max. Let's.
So if anybody plays this on console, feel free to leave in the comments. Are you having the same issue? What
Yeah.
fixes you find? Because this is a great
Yeah, how do
game.
you fix that on console?
This
If you
is
had
a-
downloaded a mod, how do you fix that?
So the little research I did, I've not seen any complaints on console.
Okay.
oh,
The reason why I'm asking is if you guys know any more information than we do,
Yeah.
leave it in the comments. Do not let how it looks affect the fact that you don't want to complete the game, because it looks like Dustin's got a workaround. It's a great game. Find a way to play it.
And dude, I'm gonna tell you something right now too. That's throwing you off. If that was a graphical thing that you're not comfortable with, if that mod never existed, I wouldn't fucking complain. Because this game is a masterpiece of a game.
Yes. Also, if anybody else is playing on PC and you're lucky enough to run into the bug because you're running an AMD graphics card, your character will be like silhouetted if you've updated your drivers. Easy fix, delete them, download the not latest one, but the one right before that. Because, yes, my dumbass downloaded the latest driver and my character went black silhouette with like glowing eyes, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Common issue if you're running an AMD.
You just gotta wait on your
Graphics
to
card.
fix it.
So cool, guys. You want anything to add on that, or we want to skip to Modern Warfare?
Good
Modern
with Modern Warfare.
Maybe Modern Warfare. So everyone in this room's played it. I made you two play it like 20 minutes before the podcast started.
Mm-hmm.
Beta.
Let's
I haven't picked my copy of it yet. but,
I want to hear y'all's reactions.
I'll let Leslie.
Because
go first.
you are just like me. You're a person that I have not physically bought a COD game in about 5 years. Because
Yep.
COD got to a point where I was like, dude, fuck this. I don't give a shit about you guys anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna go over that, but I'm gonna let.
But
Leslie
you are
go
somebody.
first.
This is not your genre of game.
Nah.
What do you think about it?
I mean, it's just to me, this is just another Call of Duty game.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't see what makes them different
Uh huh.
between like from year to year, and so it's just like for me, it's just like it seems like this is just the new edition. It's like this is like 2K 2020. How is this different from 2K19?
yeah.
One number.
Yeah.
Like I mean, yeah, you
I
could
could see that.
like you could argue, ooh, you have different people, and it's just like like in this, like ooh, yes, you could have different guns, but it's just like to me, and this is someone who doesn't know anything about know much about the series. I don't see enough mechanics that change or anything that's different to warrant this. Like okay, what's the difference between like and this is like all of the genre as a whole. Like, what's the difference between this and like Breakpoint?
That's not a very good example.
Yeah.
I mean, I no.
But
That's
you
what
would not
that's
know
what
that.
I'm saying. For
But,
me,
okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
They-
got you.
To me,
yeah, I got you.
they
I got
all
you.
look the same. They
Yeah.
all look like you accomplished the same thing.
Yeah.
Shooters.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's just my own opinion. Again, I'm not within this
So
genre.
I proposed this question to you, but I didn't let you answer me.
Mm-hmm. You asked me would I have fun with this if I was playing with a group of people. I would say no, only because there's most definitely like a skill difference,
Mm-hmm.
and no one wants to be the one guy to like bring the team down.
Right.
And it's like I don't care enough that I have to be a part of this. Like I would much rather be the friend on the sidelines being like hey you guys go ahead. You know, you guys play ball. I'm cool being here,
Yeah.
cheering y'all on.
I'll be in the party talking to you, but that's
I mean, I don't want to be the fifth man in, and they're just like, oh my god, like this dude sucks. Like I don't want to be that guy.
But here's the thing with our group, though, we don't do that because every one of us has a game that we're not entirely good at.
So
we all know we don't like pick on each other.
I think
Leslie's the kind of guy that would much rather play Sea of Thieves than another shooter game because it's
I would
like
fucking love to play Sea. I would play Sea of Thieves.
he's like,
every
if I'm
day
gonna
around
play with my
Modern Warfare.
friends, this
I'd
is
rather
the game
play-
I prefer.
yeah.
Something that's not competitive, nothing like that. That's,
Oh dear God, yeah,
that's the kind of gamer Leslie is.
it's really amazing to kind of hear, like, I think what all of us in here, like, the different play style wants and almost like cultures of how, like, you know, what you like, you know. And I think that's obviously why you asked me to be on here. It's really cool. I mean, y'all, I can see the excitement and like you're really passionate about the Outer Worlds, and I mean, it sounds like a great game.
He didn't
for
talk
y'all.
that whole time.
Yeah,
he was sitting beside you like this. He
Like,
was
man,
like,
when's Call of Duty coming up?
like but it honestly sounds like a great game. I mean, it really does. Like when you talk about the dialogue, like I said, that probably took years and years of dedication and building that, and it's now they've put out a product that y'all are finding very appealing, and like you could see the work that was put into it, you know, versus like he said, Call of Duty and stuff like that, you know. Outer Worlds sounds like a great game, but just talking about the cultures and playstyles, I would never even think about buying that game. That's why I stood here quiet. But hey, like, that's you guys. You know, that's what it's all about. That's what brings all of us here today is video games and stuff, and like the simple love of playing video games and comics and movies. But everybody has a different taste. I think that's really cool. I just want to say I think it's really cool because, like I said, Outer Worlds sounds like a great game, but I wouldn't even think about even like touching it or getting close to playing that game because it's just not my style. And so like I'm thinking that y'all are both like, oh my god, I can't wait to get it or play it. Yeah. And so I'll talk about Call of Duty more in a second, but I mean, like, he's like, nah, bro, don't even want it. That's not me. I don't even want to waste a cent on it.
Much less, hit you much less. Like, that was me 5 minutes ago.
That was exactly that was me 5 minutes ago. But you know, I think it's really cool.
Pretty good segue for how I feel about this Call of Duty, because Dustin and I were both talking. Advanced Warfare was kind of our last straw.
My last straw.
Okay,
yeah.
Call of Duty, you're dead. No more. You can't. You've fallen off the bandwagon. Right. And now, after watching other people's gameplay, and then he finally put a controller in my hands after like 5 fucking years, so that was a little bit of a stress. I'm probably going to end up getting it, even though I have other shooters. And the reason why, Leslie said, it's just another Call of Duty game. And you know what? It's just another Call of Duty game from 5 years, but better. Advanced Warfare was like, okay, let's get into this whole...
We got jumpsuits, and then we got laser guns, and then we got fucking jet. I'm like, dude,
I'm running on walls.
Get out of here.
And it's literally like, okay, this is no longer what I love in a new way. This is a whole new thing, and it sucks. And so after that, been gone for 5 years, and to the point where, no, I'm not giving this, I'm not spending another dime for a Call of Duty game. And after several people being like, dude, you need to get it, I'm like, no. Like, I'm watching it looks like fun, but I am not dropping money on this game. And now he puts a controller in my hands, and it really is like, holy crap, this is the hours and hours of
fast-paced action.
Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, Black Ops 1 and 2. I'm like, this is that adrenaline, this is that enjoyment that I had where I would get home after,
just to school.
High school.
Yep.
And then I'd get home, do my homework real quick if I decided I was doing it that night.
Yeah.
Have lunch with the family, them yell at me because I'm hopping on and then sit down and do whatever I did, and have all my buddies from high school also hop on, and we'd go blow people out. But the feel, like, it's almost nostalgic because it feels like just another Call of Duty game with all kinds of new upgrades that make the game better.
Yep.
And man, after putting that controller in my hands,
so
I'm probably gonna get it.
I obviously we're on the exact same page here. I had the luxury of playing the beta for free. Like I got the beta code, so I gave me the beta code and I played it for free, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is fucking actually super fucking fun. And it was fun. It was, I know exactly how you feel. So like, I'm watching you play, and then I'm just like, hey, sprint. Like, okay, you start sprinting, and I'm like, sprint again. And then you do the tactical sprint. You're like, what the fuck? And then I'm just like, it smells, and I'm like, hey, reload the gun. You reload the gun? Like, what? And I'm like, okay, now ADS and reload the gun. And you're like, you can look down the sight the whole time while you reload, like I could do like a tactical, like
that's
just
never been
tiny things that are like they just
Mounting
tickle your
gun,
fancy, and you're like,
mounting
ooh.
yeah. It's just they were like, okay, people have been saying we want a boost in the ground, so we're gonna give you a real fucking boost in the ground, right? Well, how can we improve? What do they love?
Actually
They
modern?
love realistic shooters.
Yeah.
How can we take that and let's make this a realistic shooter? Because it really is like there's nothing about this. This is not like fake. Like this is like.
Yeah. And it's been a long time since I've played a shooter with health bars similar to like real life. And I say that with, yes, it's a game, you can't die. But I've been playing a lot of Overwatch and Apex, you know, where to kill somebody, you're like shots on shots on shots on target.
Yep.
Here it's like boom, 2 bullets in the head, like, or 1 bullet in the head, they're done. So it really is a game that I guess for Leslie, who doesn't have a lot of time in shooters, probably would not be fun, because if you're not the first person to get a shot on target, then you're done. And that's another aspect that I really like out of this game is probably a little broken since I play on PC, and if I get it, I'll be on PC. The controller just felt really slow. Dustin knows that I'm a maniac with my DPI on my I'm looking 360 degrees by tapping my mouse, but those are the kinds of things that it feels really fast-paced, except with the movement, because you do have to go into a tactical sprint to be able to move at a pace that I really feel comfortable with. So it's a change that I know I'll have to get over. But with that being said, it is absolutely a kind of Call of Duty game that 5 years ago I was looking for, and it's 5 years later, and I think I may be a fan again with how it felt.
I agree. I want to go back to like the realistic thing that you said, like to give people more of that realistic feel of like an actual shooter, of like this would take place, you know, like in real life today. That have you ever watched like somebody, like if you go on YouTube and you watch them breach a door, like when in this game, whenever they run through and it's just like open door, but if you're sprinting, it just kind of knocks it open. You notice that they are holding up their gun, like when you double sprint and they're holding the gun straight up, and they go through this door, it is immediately flipped down and forced through the doorway. It's not just bam and then walking through. It's like bam and they force through the doorway, and then you're free to go wherever you want. Like there's certain subtle hints like that. They're just like, oh man, it's aesthetically pleasing.
So
to watch it happen.
From what I'm hearing, it's like this game is, well, I mean, as far as you two know, these are like, you haven't played the series in a while, but this game has a bunch of improvements in, I guess, just the quality of life of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I only have a few minutes into it.
Yeah.
Did you play? You've played, like you say, you're like, you know, a real bro gamer, so you played the other ones, right?
Right.
How does this one?
This is why you're here today.
This is why I'm here, CMG. Dustin said I need a bro gamer to come on the podcast. So thanks again, obviously, for having me. But yeah, I have. I've played a lot of them, and I was just like you guys. I mean, the Advanced Warfare was kind of like the straw. I mean, it was, you know, and to his point, I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it's still a Call of Duty. Just like a Madden, just like an NBA game. They're always, it's the mechanics are always gonna be the same. Pass a football, shoot a gun, you know. But it's the little things that matter. And yeah, this game is a lot of fun. I mean, it really is, Leslie. I mean, it's a lot of fun. But like I said, at the end of the day, it still is a Call of Duty. Talking about the realism, what I was, you know, there's actually a new mode called Realism, which is actually really cool. And what that mode is, there's nothing on your screen. It's just you and the gun. There's no mini map. There's no bullet count. There's no nothing.
Like
and
if you shoot,
like
you
you
have to be aware of how much bullets you
there's no
have.
hit marker either. There's no hit marker. So like you can take somebody down cross map and like you don't even realize it. And I think that's really awesome.
See,
So
I
it's the
didn't know
little
that.
things. It's
Yeah.
the little things, like he said, the running through the doors, how they like hit the door,
Hit the
come
door,
in like that.
force it in.
The ADS, how you can, and then the way you can butt up to a wall and go around it. So it's the little things like that. It's still a fun. Now, is it still a Call of Duty? I think anybody who has played Call of Duty, like, there is no type of rage like Call of Duty rage. There is no type of rage like Call
How
of Duty
the fuck?
Yeah. So, it's a lot of fun to play. I mean, I do recommend getting it, and I think it's perfect for, like he said, like, if you haven't played a Call of Duty because you got so burned and stuff like that 5 years ago from the likes of Advanced, Warfare and stuff, me, coming from a bro gamer standpoint, and probably a lot of other ones that play Call of Duty, Madden, stuff like that, like, when it got into the Advanced Warfare, the jetpacks and all that other stuff, it's kind of like you talked about movies and superheroes. Like, you got a good thing, don't mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when they started going, boots off ground, like you said, jetpacks and all that other stuff, it was like Destiny or Halo or something. Like, you're playing Call of Duty because you want to play Call of Duty. You want to play a realistic war type of game, and to that point, like, I've played the Destiny games, and like Jacob, I know, likes them a lot, and our friend Benji likes them, but shout out to B. But I just can't get into that. That's just not me. I
You like the more realism.
I like realism. I like real guys. I'm not into like the crazy, unique characters and stuff like that. But the realism part, I think, is everybody was looking for, and they really hit the nail on it. And on top of that, I think between realism and the customization, it is really cool in this game. A lot of people have been asking about that. But the new gunsmith feature, you can literally, you can even you can click the left trigger and literally just move your gun and just look at your gun, So it's a lot of fun.
No, I mean that is something that I absolutely fucking love. I'm a whore for customization. If I can play a game,
I think a lot of true gamers are.
Oh, we love
That's
it.
how
And
you
it's
hook me on games too. You're like, hey man, you get this game with me and play it. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't really. You can customize the character. I'm like, all right, man, let's fucking do it.
like it's just so
And
fun.
we'll spend
and it's
hours
it's
before
And
that.
this is a regular Call of Duty game where it's like, okay, you put a sight on it, okay, but it's like no. You unlocked a stock? Well, guess what? That changes how the gun looks.
Mm-hmm.
You unlock a different barrel? Guess what? The gun looks different.
Mm-hmm.
My gun does, and it's all different stats. So if I want a gun that's like, way more reliable at a longer range, it's way more steady, and he wants the gun that's like, I don't give a shit about my aim. I have great aim, and I want to hip fire shit, and I'm going to shoot real faster. His gun will look completely fucking different than mine, but we're using the same M4.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, okay, so like the actual part looks different. Like, if you have like a stock, like a bump stock on it, it's actually going to show that.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
looks
going
the
to
gun
show
looks
that, and it's
different.
going
You
to
get
affect
a
it.
longer barrel, shorter barrel,
Yeah.
like it moves.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
it is aesthetic.
I was so happy when like the Glock pistol, like has a you saw my real one in real life. I was just straight metal, like it's like a square, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you upgrade it, you upgrade a different receiver for it, and it's got like holes in it, which is where you can see like the inner mechanics of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's so visually pleasing.
It's just
this
like-
game looks amazing. The graphics and it plays very smooth. But between those two, on top of the customization, like it'd be different if they added the customization and now they added visuals. They added it together, so it's just like the cream of the crop.
So if you guys remember the attitude back when like Battlefield 1 came out, how everyone was like, oh my gosh, the visuals.
Right.
This is kind of that same feeling coming from that point of that's almost normal now.
Mm-hmm.
Like to make
4K, all that other good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
like this, the visuals on this one, I feel like kind of give you that same feeling back then. Like, look at how much of an improvement this looks. As far as the weapons go, I feel like that is what your focus needs to be on, because when you're actually playing the game, those small things you kind of... I don't look at my gun while I'm playing.
No, I do.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Unless I'm like inspecting it, so I like that inspection thing. My focus is like in the crosshairs, and whatever you're focusing on, like the people that you're shooting at look realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yes,
it's not like, hey, I'm playing a game. It's more like
Not weird guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like the
Right.
guy actually looks like he's sweating and everything.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Or even the dying mechanics when they get killed.
yes.
Like they get
The
killed,
ragdoll
yeah.
shit, to get hit by a grenade,
the
and then they'll
ragdoll,
fly
yeah,
a little bit.
and like when if you shoot somebody in the chest, they're just gonna kind of slump down.
Mm.
Like it's just
Yeah.
the mechanics are all really good.
So now about the actual like gameplay, is there? For the most part, I assume you guys like people only play this for like the PvP aspect and multi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not me, but
So like, how is like?
The story mode.
Yeah, it's like okay, because I've played a couple Call of Duties,
Mhm.
and it's like for me, I didn't even realize there was a story. It was just like
Right.
me. There's like, oh, what's my next mission? Got a boss.
Right.
Like I don't care about like why I'm doing that. But so it's like is there a like how is the actual campaign?
So I have I really would I could dive into this hardcore. So, are you a fan of like war movies?
yeah.
Like if we go to the movie theater next week and there's a new
Lone
modern warfare, lone survivor, American
type
sniper,
of-
like
yeah,
modern
American
war war movie. Like, are you interested in that?
Dude,
I'm like-
Hacksaw Ridge got me.
That's okay. Well,
It's-
yeah.
it's-
I'm
it's-
just saying. So it is one. When you first start the campaign,
Mhm.
it says, "Are you okay with seeing extreme graphic violence?"
Mhm.
And you have to click OK.
That's when you know it's gonna be good.
Okay, like no,
And
like,
it-
wait, no,
it's-
pause. Like if you press no to that, does it like? Well, it
I
actually
think it
like
takes you back to the menu.
It takes you back to the menu.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
it's
so
not-
it's like you can't even.
there's
No.
there's no like you
There's
can't
no
turn blood and
censoring
gore.
this.
It's
No,
not
like
like
we're gonna
an
skip that
airport
mission.
scene
Yes.
where you can skip the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's not even to the extent of like you're gonna see bodies explode. It's like so there's a mission where you have to go and clear a house, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Like it's so fucking. It's like you're playing a movie.
Yeah.
Like so you're clearing the house and like you're like it's like I'm literally like getting nervous because I'm like it's like little tiny hallways will just big enough for your character and it's like like 1 2 3 poof, and you're in the room and it's like
You have to clear it.
you have
out.
to clear it and it's like there's a woman there. Oh shit,
Is she a target or not?
guy, boom, and then you're like, this room's clear, right? Guess what? She's about to pick up that gun, and you gotta fucking kill her.
Can't spray and pray.
Yeah. So it's like you're killing women, and it's just like the high stress and the campaign is like, dude, it's fucking.
It's war simulation.
phenomenal.
It's like
It's
watching-
war simulation.
Yeah.
It's like watching like a SEAL Team 6 movie. Like
Yeah.
you're watching that, you're like, oh shit, dude. Like, what was it? American Sniper.
Yeah.
Whenever Coach
Whenever
Kyle's up
the
there,
little ones
kid
in the
goes, he's
road.
like, don't fucking do it. And he's like, puts his hand on the trigger. He's like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. And he doesn't. He's like,
Yeah.
like that's
Like,
that's
that
high
it
stress.
builds up
Yeah,
that
yeah,
tension.
like you're on the seat. But to kind of add to what you're talking about, I know you're talking about the campaign. How is the playing style a little bit better? He mentioned it as well, like a difference from like Apex and stuff like that, where they have like shield. Yeah, and this only takes 1 or 2 bullets to die. That's a good thing and a bad thing, right? So another thing about Call of Duty is that I come to realize like it's in every single game. I believe that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of is it so when somebody's really good at Call of Duty, is it so much a skill or is it just exploiting all the flaws of the game?
Both.
So what I mean by that, number one example, like spawn camping. Like, are you really that good, or do you just know
You just
where they're
know
gonna
the
be?
game so much.
Or like when
You're
you like
exploiting it.
like that's why I like realism mode a lot because when somebody has a UAV, you're a red dot on the map. You know that they're gonna come around the corner, so you're already pre-firing for them to come around the corner. Is that really skill? Or versus like let's flip it over to like Fortnite. As angry as it makes us, people that do the build battles, like when you get into a 1v1 fight with somebody and they start build battling,
The
like,
moment I tag
as annoying as annoying as that is, that's truly a skill, is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's where Call of Duty sometimes like is frustrating. That comes from the Call of Duty rage, right? So,
Oh my god.
you know,
The fact
head glitching. It's been so long. Head
Yes.
glitching was a thing. Is
That-
that
yes.
okay?
That's so, but like, if you don't think if you don't fucking think that there is not going to be a person that sits in a fucking corner of a room the entire match and kills you,
I don't.
people still do that shit.
That's still.
No.
Like,
And it still gets me so fucking angry.
Those are my favorite people because back when I was good,
That's me.
I knew how those people played.
Yep.
And my sole goal
Was to kill them.
Fucking make them.
I didn't care if I came out with
It's like
3
they're
kills
gonna
a
camp
game.
in a corner. I'm
I'm
gonna
killing
find
that
that fucking corner and I'm gonna kill them over and over until they're pissed off.
You
that
can
I
ask
know
him,
how to
man.
exploit their
You
can
ask
never
both of
get in
them.
that corner
I hold
again.
fucking grudges
So
against that shit.
here's a topic.
I know names. When we go play Siege, I'm like, bro, I know
Right.
this motherfucker. He plays Cat Kid every time. I'm gonna fuck him up.
Right.
It's my main mission. I don't give a fuck if we win this or not.
Yeah.
I'm fucking him up.
So here's a thing that I come across a lot that is a wide topic, and I feel like in, like you said, the PvP community. I don't understand, and y'all can chime in. Like, I don't understand why KDR is such a big deal. And the reason I say that is because like you talk about somebody camping in a room. To me, I think we all can agree for the most part. I mean, we play video games, watch movies and stuff like that because we enjoy it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun. Like, we like to do it, right? So, like, I don't understand how, like, sitting in a corner getting, like, 4 kills is fun.
Because it depends on why you're playing. We're just playing this to, have fun. There are some people that are playing this game and this is their training. They make money off this.
That's
What
true.
do? They actually play games to provide for their family or whatever.
True. But look, now I'm gonna throw the monkey wrench in here, right? What about people that cheat?
What do you mean with
Fucking
cheat?
They're just scum of the earth, yeah.
No. So it's like you were saying, they play it like. How do you get enjoyment out of just sitting in one spot the whole time? How do you get enjoyment?
At that point, you're not good enough to make money off of it. And you're not having fun with it, because how do you have fun with just fucking being the best all the time?
Yeah,
when nobody has a chance.
You can be.
That's all
That's
they
only
care
fun.
about. They
That's
just
only
care about
fun.
fucking
fun.
That's only fun for so long. I mean, think about Grand Theft Auto when we put in the cheat codes and we had unlimited health. That's only fun for so long.
And then you
You
get
know,
bored.
But what I was talking about with KDR is like when you're in the Call of Duty community, it's like, oh, I'm level so and so prestige. Oh yeah, well, what's your KDR? I've never understood that because
people take it too seriously.
to me,
Yeah.
the object of the game, and I don't care if it's team deathmatch, search and destroy,
It's to
anything
win.
like that, is to win. So I don't care if we're playing domination and we just killed it by a score of 200 to 150, but my ratio is 35 kills to 39 kills. Like, yeah, I died a lot, but I was leader of the team and we won, and I had 4 captures. Like, I don't understand why it's so focused on KDR.
I
and
don't
stuff
worry
like that.
about kills. I worry about objective. So like, if it is team deathmatch, all right, man, I'm going ahead and try to get as much kills as I
And
can
there is
without
nothing
dying.
worse than that is
But
being
I'm
on a
playing
team
domination.
that doesn't. That's what's so toxic sometimes about the Call of Duty community.
Overwatch.
Well, maybe that's just
Fucking
the reason why
Overwatch.
they play, because they want to make sure, I am the best. Okay, everyone can hit this level, all right, but you're like,
KDR.
yeah, you're like death ratio. It's like, oh, well, you may be good, but you die a lot more
Right.
than you kill, so we don't want you.
So therefore
you
you're
can't-
surrendering.
You
How
can't
good are
sit
you?
with us.
So
good
how
are
good
you?
are you? Because you killed them 39 times, but you also died 39 times.
Like,
you gave them 39
okay,
points.
like earlier, I may have died. I don't care about that. I died 13 times, but you know what? I got 1 kill, 1 assist. You cannot fucking touch me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I am a very fast-paced shooter
Yep.
player. Like, I don't like things going slow. I'm somebody that loves to run around the map.
Balls to the walls.
Balls to the wall. Back when I used to play, it was back when dolphin diving was a thing.
Yes.
You would not see me walking. I would be up, down,
Yep.
jumping.
Absolutely.
You don't know what to expect. I was that person that was always in the top 3,
Yep.
but my KDR may be like a 1.
Maybe.
But if I'm pulling off 28 kills, it doesn't matter if
cares?
3 different
You
people
just-
are killing me.
you
I'm
just
not
carry
in
the
one
team.
spot in the map.
Absolutely.
It's not the same person killing me over
On
and
the
over.
exact same
Unless I
playstyle.
find that camper in that corner, he kills me 3 times, and then I own his ass. That's the way I like it, and you have that option in this game. And
I'm gonna come with sidebar the whole thing. I had a thing I just probably made, and you asked about the story. And this will be the last thing I think about story mode is that I am somebody that I have always enjoyed playing Call of Duty stories because it's like you're playing the most actionist fucking movie of all time, right?
Yeah, it's a movie.
They have zero replay value to me. I actually would want to go back and replay the story.
Wow.
Really?
I haven't
It's-
played story yet, but I've heard nothing but phenomenal things like that.
It is so. It's not just like
Is that like
fucking guns and explosion. It's just like, damn, this is a.
Are you on your ass 90% of the
people
game
are
like
just-
other Call of
people are
Duty?
just in the fucking story, and it's
very
such,
engaging.
It's so narrative driven.
See, that's Call of Duty for me is a play the campaign once to say I played the
Yep,
campaign.
yeah,
kind of
exactly.
thing.
Get the story of it.
You telling me that actually has me one
Yeah.
because to me it is solely a multiplayer
Exactly,
game,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it used to be a zombies game if it was Black Ops, and I played it like I got the new game for those. But if the story's an added benefit, that just adds to.
I guess I'm just a
I
odd-
played the entire campaign before I touched a second of the multiplayer.
How long is the campaign?
About
go
6
for?
hours.
Wow.
It's like a normal.
And got you enough to want to replay it.
Mhm.
My
Hard-
thing, yeah.
So what level of difficulty?
I just go
Hard.
regular when it's Call
Okay.
of Duty.
So is it enjoyable on hard, or is it one of those rip your hair out kind of deals?
It's not really hell. It's
Okay.
challenging to where sometimes I'm just like, what the fuck? But then I'm just like,
You feel accomplished
Rewarded.
after you get past it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. After playing Outerworlds, my whole stress limit for difficulty is
Through the roof. Out the window. Through the roof.
I'm not even a bitch about it. I played that game on medium.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you go to the difficulty on the Outer Worlds, it tells you on medium, this is the game mode that is designed for you to play it. That literally says that.
Wow.
Like how we, the developers, want you to play the game.
Wow.
And I said, you know what? Yeah, I agree because I'm having fun. Because Supernova can suck my dick, and Hard can also suck my dick.
Yeah. For sure.
For you to say that, I want to get it and I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna lose my mind.
Because I am a
You
person.
can change
I'm-
it. You just can't change it to Supernova after you start.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Oh wow.
Start off with Supernova, and I guarantee it.
And
By
you-
the
Oh,
time
I'm
you
going
get
to
the
just to see how
first,
it is.
By the time you get to the freaking ship,
Because-
when you're going for the
and
ship.
This
in
is
the
not a
first
man who plays games on easy.
place. No.
Every
I
game I
don't.
get with him to play, bro, no, you're on extreme, bitch. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, here we go.
Only-
But like for him to say I'm not playing on the hardest difficulty, I was like,
It's
reason-
impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
yeah.
I don't know how a human being could beat that game on Supernova.
You have to be speed running it in stealth. Like, I see no other option other than, okay, let's just grab this item, do this objective, talk to this person, magically
you have
come
to.
up with 10 grand. Yeah, like, you have to be a speed runner who stealths through all the hard parts.
Yeah. It's impossible to kill things.
Yeah. You
It's
to kill a
impossible.
marauder takes like 4 clips to the head, and you can't get shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to get back on,
Track.
the Outer Worlds
Yeah.
again.
But, sorry, going back into the difficulty, Call of Duty is hard is where I'm going.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so best moments with Call of Duty?
A best moment?
Or favorite moment, best moment?
Playing the story.
I haven't even touched
Yeah,
the game,
they're-
the regular game yet, but my best moment is listening to this motherfucker on the mic.
Yeah, that is.
My favorite thing he does it.
Yeah,
And you're like, God,
I'm telling you,
almighty.
there is no type of rage like Call of Duty rage. And
No.
talking about favorite moments, and like
I
one,
shot first.
do what?
I shot first. How the
Oh
fuck
yeah.
did I
oh,
die?
Yeah. Yeah, I shot first. Yeah, like we put like 3 bullets in them, and there's like 1 to us, and we're dead. But realism mode is really fun. That's one of my favorites. But there's also a new mode called gunfight, and that's a simple 2v2. It's not 5v5 or whatever, or 10v10 ground war. It is literally a team of 2 against another team of 2 on a very, very small to medium sized map.
You have one life.
And you have 1 life, and you get a
Randomized.
different set of a different class every 2 classes. So it really, I think, like I was talking about earlier, having skill. When you get spawn camped, I don't think that's skill. Like you know what the game's gonna do, so you exploit it.
You are
So
exploiting the
gunfight,
respawn
I
value.
think the true test of a Call of Duty skill, like there's the optics, the Call of Duty World Championship for people win millions of
2v2
dollars.
is gonna be
I want to
big
watch.
this
I want to watch
year.
2v2. I don't want to watch team deathmatch anymore.
Because it's
Like,
random. It's
because it's random, and I think it exploits the true skill of a Call of Duty player.
That 2v2 is going to be big in the World League.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. So
guaranteed.
gunfight, I mean, it's technically 2v2, but mono a mono against another team, and the better team is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not who gets lucky, who gets the random syntax, to the face or something.
I've never played that game mode, and when I lose or I get my ass kicked like 6-0, I've never been like, that was bullshit the whole time. I'm like, God, they kicked our ass.
They are the better player than you. Like, the better player is going to win. Like, that's what I think is great about it.
And even in a worst case scenario, it's not like one round over. It's
it takes 6 to win.
Six rounds.
6 round wins.
The class changes every 2 rounds.
So it's not just like, oh, you got a lucky shot on.
No, it's best to what do you call that? I mean, it's
me
best
and
to
you
6.
might be playing, but you may be good with shotguns.
First to 6.
And
First to 6 wins.
I might not like. I may like to snipe. We get shotguns the first 2 rounds. I better hope I can get a lucky shot off of you because I know you're gonna kick my ass. But next round we go snipers, and let's say I'm good at sniping, but you are, you've never picked up a sniper this game yet. Hope you get a lucky shot. Yeah. Because it's the skill of all these classes together. Who's the best out of all of them?
For sure.
And y'all said that it's not best of 6. It's the first
to 6.
First
best
to
of
6
11,
points.
Nice.
So you can
best
run.
11,
You
that's
can
it.
run 11 games and one of you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, and it like you talk about like getting into it, like feeling passionate about a game when it's both teams had 5 wins. It's final round. It's like the pressure's on. Like, and
because by that time you get to know the opponent. You're like, I know
that this is someone.
I know
he
my
goes
level.
this way. I know he moves this way.
Exactly.
He works shotguns close range.
So I think it brings out the most competitive in a player. It's not just bullshit.
I will
it's not
honestly watch
bullshit.
that in the World
Okay,
League.
so
I would honestly sit down and watch that.
Moving forward, do you think instead of doing like team deathmatch, as far as like paid competitions, do you think that should be the next
100%.
the next
Absolutely.
way we start going?
100%.
Absolutely.
Do you think
It's more
two might be too small?
No,
I think it's
for
perfect.
a viewership competitive level.
No, because it's like, okay, if you have a team of 5, then that basically means that one team of 5 can now have 2 teams and like 1 floater, where it's like, okay, if something happens to you or you, then I can sub in, and that kind of creates more competition.
Maybe like a 3v3, could be expanded
3
to.
or 4 is kind of what I'm
but
thinking.
yeah, like the 2v2, especially on the maps that they're played, because the maps are tremendously small. So
yes,
yeah, and they're quick too. They're quick and they're fun. Because this is one thing I was thinking about too, that like he talked about. It's funny that he talked about reminiscing on the old days, right? Like you feel like you just got back from high school. You're coming in, you're playing and stuff like that. It brings back those good memories. Well, something that was the reason. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 was out. Like that was a game changer in the video game world. Period. Am I wrong to say that?
No.
And that was the peak of it. But we have something totally different. When I say Call of Duty rage, we have your typical PvP that's been around for a long time. Now we have Fortnite. We have a battle royale. So like the reason I think my Call of Duty rage is worse now because when as if it wasn't bad enough, but I think it's worse now because when you have like the team deathmatch, the typical 5-on-5 or whatever it is, and you're getting constantly killed, it takes the fun out of it. Versus like when you've played like a battle royale, even if you go 10 minutes and you're at like the third, you're down to the last 20, you've at least got to enjoy it, and it's a different type. So like, I guess that's kind of the question I'm posing. Do you prefer now still typical to PvP or a battle royale type of deal? Because it's 2 different worlds, and
honest to God, I would say that there is such a good balance. Because we all know there's days, man. There's days where I'm gonna log on my boys and I'm just fucking killing it. I'm unstoppable all fucking day long. And then there's days where it's just like, I can't fucking win for losing, dude. I can't shit in my own toilet. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, they are so the same, right? Like a battle royale shooter and a tactical PvP shooter. They are so like this, but at the same time they're like this. So you can be like, what, fuck Call of Duty, man. I'm going to play some Fortnite. I'm going to play some Apex.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good balance.
It's a good balance of like, I'm gonna play the other one right now. Like I'm still in the mood, I'm still in the mood to play with my friends, play a shooter. But like, I ain't about this Call of Duty today.
See, it's funny because I think that depends on like your actual skill level. Because for me, even though I don't play these games, I would much rather prefer the PvP like multiplayer for the simple fact of I'm not that good. So in a battle royale,
It would be even worse.
when I die, I just die. I mean, at least in like the other games, I can come back.
Right. Yeah.
I still may not get no kills, but
You still
At
get a
least I'm
chance.
playing.
Yeah,
I'm not very good at Fortnite at all.
Mhm.
Like I'm decent. I have my moments, but it's like a true like wild card thing because I go days with fucking being bad and only have like an hour being good. But I still love to play that game.
Mhm.
I love it. Like it is one of the best games that I've probably ever played.
Okay.
And it's just one of those games where I'm like, I have fun playing it. I do.
Yeah.
I don't play solos. He knows me. I'm not a solo person. I don't have a single solo win if Fortnite has been out.
Mhm.
So
And I probably only played 3 games.
I'm in the day and age where I prefer Battle Royale, and I find games like Call of Duty to be more my either warm up or I'm doing trash. I need to work on my aim.
Right.
Even if the shooting mechanics are different, they're similar. So if it's like, hey, I cannot put shots on target, let me work on another game
Right.
where the crosshairs, very fast paced. I don't have to worry about, hey, will one fight lose me this? Because if I'm back when I played PUBG, if I was dying at school every day, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go swap over to another game where I can work on my
Right.
aim and just
Yeah.
die over and over and over and not have to worry about
Mhm.
4 minutes to get into the next.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, we got final thoughts.
No, I'm good.
Outerworlds and Call of Duty.
Get both.
Get both.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a guy that, like I said, still would never touch. That's just not my play style. Outerworlds really sounds like a great game that people need to be invested in.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love how he didn't talk the whole time.
Yeah.
He was just sitting next to you. He was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh no, but he was like, nope.
He was sitting here. He was looking at the lesson. He said,
This ain't
Yeah.
got shit to do with me.
I mean, it really sounds like a great game.
Yeah.
And Call of Duty is another Call of Duty. Obviously, it's still Call of Duty at the end of the day, but there's enough little things. There's enough couple different game modes. Like there is just enough to where you're like, all right, I'll spend $60 on this.
Mhm.
I can do that. I can live that.
yeah.
All right, take us home, boys.
Leslie?
All right, you can find us on, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube.
Yep. And you can search us on Facebook, Twitter at Operation CMG, or over on Instagram at op_CMG.
Over and out.
Yes, sir.